We are extra loud. Fuck it, I'll do it live. Why didn't do it live? Do it myself.
Look, I love you. I'm missing buy one get one wings with buffalo sauce.
You know, I love it when you make me feel so good about myself. I hear that so often. You've been lucky. I'll be lucky.
All I heard is I would choose chicken over this show.
Exactly.
Where am I at right now, motherfucker?
That's what I heard.
Where's my chicken?
You should have
Get eaten instead of me.
You're this fucking guy who got fucking hot shots, and then you fucking don't want to get chicken.
I don't want to get hot shots. No, I've got hot shots.
Hot shots.
Dude, right across from the bar.
Are we blaming chicken for being late?
That's sort of the way. No, I'm blaming this place for not letting me get chicken.
No, you bad socialist. Sit your ass down.
It's not a socialist. Hey, he has a good literacy program. He's got a good
literacy program.
No, that's...
Put your mics on.
That's Castro. It's probably not in a good place, so... No, he said it. He said it as if there's more than one, because look at him.
We are loud.
As in one of what? We're mic'd up. He said bastards. That's a tribute song right there. I know why I played that song. It's one of Garrett's karaoke songs. Garrett. All right. Ladies and gentlemen. Very nice. Yeah, thanks. It looks like you fucked an Easter bunny. Or something. Rachel, maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Session Stream live from Shaker's Bar, downtown Cape. I am your unfortunate host in this debauchery of stupidity. And we appreciate you being here. Of course, we missed last week. We missed last week for good cause. I had all kinds of scheduling crap going on, and then we had some other people that couldn't be here. So Brandon also said it was good we were off because he had stuff going on. So we have Carrie back. Carrie's back?
I've been on a couple weeks.
Carrie, how lovely of you to stop by.
She's off work today, so she's able to...
Awesome. I've learned in my middle ages, that's so weird to say that. I've learned in my mid-age that instead of shitting on someone when they can't do something all the time... You mean like me? No, you can get shit on. Yeah, you're gonna get shat on. No, it's appreciate, like when people aren't around for a while and then they show up, appreciate the time that they show up as opposed to the times they're not there. Because people just get tired of that BS. They'll stop coming around.
Well, she distinctly said, she's like, I'm not working, can watch you guys again. I missed all of you except Brandon.
Fair enough. Awesome. Now I always liked her. But now her level just climbed. Come on in, sis. Fair enough. We actually have...
Why does the audio sound
blowing out? Where the fuck is the video? Am I loud?
It actually says the music is too loud.
Are we can live it?
Oh, you think in the background?
Yeah, whenever I turned it up, you're sounding pretty blown out.
Okay. I just had my level up too high.
Is it on yours or Shaker's?
It's on Shaker's right now.
You finally got on there?
Yeah. All right, so Brandon, move my way, and I'm going to move her around a little bit so we don't have her back to the camera. Can people still hear me, I hope? Yeah, we're still going. Okay. I don't think I've been this close to you before, Eric.
Can we swap?
Hey, buddy. You want to swap? Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's swap.
Yeah, no one really wanted to be that close to her.
Regina just obviously didn't mind. So damn you. Damn you. Put it up real high.
Right.
Right-hand man or something.
Yeah. That's right, I'm the redheaded
The one time I tried to move you over here, you're like, I don't feel very good about this. Like your belly hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I did the same thing. Yeah. You made me sit there and said, fuck it.
It's not a good spot.
Not?
No.
This is Zach's
Look at it, it's a horrible spot.
That is Zach's spot.
Is it on yours or Shaker's?
Okay.
Oh wow, it's really light.
Everybody in there now? I think so.
We can see an ear of Brandon.
An ear? Is that all we see? Do we need to adjust the camera?
An ear?
No, he's there. You're there. I see you.
I know, just making fun of him.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you do that. You're good at that. All right. Anyway, we did miss last week, so you missed a lot. And if you'll see to my left here, the lovely Regina Arnzen is back. She was actually on the very first show.
I was on like the first 4 or 5 shows.
You were the first 4 or 5 shows. You were, yep, that's right. And so I kind of scrambled because here's the deal, guys. You guys are all great and everything, but you guys are all men, and men suck a lot. So
Yeah, you do.
we need female infusion.
He sucks a good one.
And so I wanted to get Regina back and the other thing, Regina, is what I told everybody is you're one of the few women that actually will come on here and say shit. You'll talk and stand on what you say. I said you're the only one. You're one of the few women that'll ball up and come on here. I used a terribly descriptive thing to say, but that's true. You are very open and honest about how you feel, and you'll back it up with your argument. And I think it's great. So the good thing is tonight's a bunch of kind of potpourri, but we're going to be talking eventually about flat Earth and real weird stuff at the end.
Fake shit?
Yeah, fake stuff. Flat Earth and the Big Bang Theory. We're going to throw that in there.
It's a terrible show.
That's not bull fake shit.
So just so everybody knows, I'm going to introduce the guest panel and I do a little preemptive warning. Is can we get someone to turn the music down a little bit?
The Zynga.
Hey,
Garrett.
Garrett.
Can you turn the music down just a smidge?
Thank you, brother.
Sorry.
No, I like the music. It's just a little much for the feed.
I don't think anyone really likes Nickelback. Just saying.
Oh, I do.
Oh, I did.
That explains a lot about you.
Oh, there's a little bit. There's a few Nickelback. Shut up. For a while, everybody was listening to Nickelback.
And everybody hates it, but everybody knows all the fucking
nobody's
lyrics.
perfect.
Like all of them.
Stand up for what you believe in.
I was getting kind of used to being somebody you love, Cody. So screw you,
thought
man.
that's hard.
Yeah,
Good
it's
I know.
somebody that you used to love.
When the day bleeds in the nightfall. Anyway, sorry. This is an R-rated show, guys. So if you are tuning in and you have never tuned in, God bless you for coming around. But if you have tuned in, then you know it's R-rated. We do have cuss words. It's unedited, but that's about it. We get that out. It's a bar, so I try to keep it as real.
Say fuck.
Fuck.
I'm about the only one on the show that doesn't say it. I have said it before, but very seldom.
Drop a couple bombs.
I have every once in a while.
Yeah.
I have
Throw shit around.
every once in a
I,
while.
in fact, have never.
You legitimately look like a fucking pedophile.
Good. Good.
I'm just being. I mean, does anybody disagree with me right now?
Whoa, what was it? The first thing I fucking messaged you.
Yeah, because
Are
me
you
and my,
trying to do it?
Yeah. So me and my friend group all
This is the
shaved,
Bernie Sanders voter.
shaved
everyone.
all of our beards into mustaches.
No, it's the glasses, dude.
no.
Did you pick those?
No, these are my dad's. So yeah.
How's
Okay.
the babysitting going?
Yeah, I saw the ad on.
Bounce him on your lap a lot?
Jesus
on baby.
Christ.
Yeah, he just went on a dating site and put kid lover, so that way everybody knows he likes kids.
Good God.
He's good with kids.
No, I actually started that whole meme trend where you get on Tinder and you just post pictures of yourself looking as creepy as possible and see who still swipes.
Now, you started that?
No, I mean, I've just been doing it.
No,
I mean, you
he's been
said you
doing it.
started it, though.
I started doing it is what I'm saying.
Oh,
like me personally.
He joined in.
I joined
But he
in
did
on
come
it.
back with,
Yeah.
you got your Leonards back up. I see
I
that.
did. I added a
Yep.
couple more.
Tax return one is up.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean I can't claim? Yeah, that's a good
That
one.
one was fun.
Yeah.
I had a couple people thought that was like a real.
Oh no, it looked legit for real.
yeah,
I saw people ask you like, "Is that real?" And I'm like, "No, dude, it was made up."
No,
so we've got Brandon over here. We've got Regina here. Cody.
What up?
And this freaking guy over here, Zach.
I don't get it, man.
This freaking guy.
He's not bald anymore.
So
Comparable Regina and Brandon and Zach and Cody.
I did not compliment
Fucking redheaded stepchildren of the bar.
you. You're wearing freaking Easter egg shirt, man.
I also like how they're always.
You're wearing
by
the
window,
Easter
so in
bunnies
case-
come round.
I like your other shirt, man.
They can just go straight through the glass.
Your multiple use of the F
He's
word.
ready for spring.
I had that for. I spent $30 fucking.
I like that shirt.
And one of my buttons already fell off on it. On a $30 fucking.
Where'd you get it at?
Spencer's.
Spencer's gift. There you
At least throw
go.
your shirt in the dryer.
They are five.
Why didn't you just sew a fucking button on?
They are Five Below, but way more expensive.
yesterday.
They get all their stuff from China and Taiwan.
Well, also
Like
they own
every
They're the
Halloween,
Supreme of Five Below.
Halloween.
Wait, they do one Spirit?
Yeah.
I always wondered.
Yeah,
Okay.
Spirit and
kind of the
Spencer's.
same theme, the kind of same feeling. Yeah. So a couple of happenings. Of course, our ghost hunt in April is still on. Unless you're going to freaking leave me for that, for something else too. Is somebody else doing a competition ghost hunt you're going to?
Man, you
on
were
that
some
day?
kind of butthurt.
Anyway, I'm done. I don't know, probably not. But I'm done saying it on the show. So that's April 25th. We're going to be doing that. So we're going to try to do as much of the trip there and as the show live as we can. Otherwise, we're going to be just recording the video and then we'll post it to the Facebook page. I got Zach, Lauren, and Caitlin. Caitlin now has agreed to go.
Which Caitlin's watching, so hi, Caitlin.
It's good, and I hope she's getting better. She said she's getting out of the hospital. She's been up in, I'm not going to say where because it's not up for me to say, but she's been in, What, is that wrong?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Yeah.
I figured you'd correct,
The corner store?
No, they're not one of our sponsors.
Oh,
This is just notes for me.
We have sponsors?
That's what you get for reading my...
Every Wednesday.
No,
Where are you for karaoke?
But no, so Caitlin's been sickly, so she's been in the hospital. She's evidently getting out, and so she hopefully will get her out and get her back to health next Wednesday. We've been trying to cover without her, and it's just been sucky. So I've had to do karaoke once.
Rob, is he watching?
No, it's been sucky without her.
No, I'm just kidding.
Like you just trying to just take every little
I'm
thing.
just saying, I was down here last night. I
I'm glad to
didn't see
see
you.
you're back now.
I mean, we did have to put up with your ass last Thursday as
I know,
DJ.
I know. You see, I'm okay saying that. You know, I'm okay being self-deprecating, but
Boy, was that fun.
he just stays on it. Yes, I poop my pants often. You don't say that, poop mouth. No, it's good that you're talking some more. Like you've been quiet lately.
Took a nice nap today.
You did? Good. I can tell. I can tell. I think there is. There's like a different vibe to it.
I've never done a show with you. I am not familiar with you at all.
Well,
You will
this is
you
gonna be
actually
fun.
like her. She actually lines up with you on a lot of stuff. Unfortunately.
You're far left wing too?
Sure.
We all know this is not far left wing. It's hilarious.
I have no idea what that meant.
By the way,
Okay.
we just say crap just to be different, just to be difficult.
You know, I saw that video that you posted from like 2 years ago on Facebook today where you're like being a tour guide. That shit
It says
had me rolling.
wood.
That shit made me laugh so
We know it
hard.
is wood because it is brown.
And the leather straps.
Where was that at, by the way?
So that was at the St. Louis Art Museum. So one of my best friends, his birthday is actually today, and my birthday is the 1st.
Okay, nobody cares about that.
Yeah, obviously, you shut the bar down. And get fucked.
Did I invite you to it?
You did.
I did. So
You
shut
did.
the hell up and tell us your story, you whiny bitch.
I will not.
I shut the bar down for an event, and I said, "Why don't you come to it, man? It's your birthday. That's cool."
It's on Sunday.
Yes.
It's open.
Yes, we are. We have an event that
But
day.
I'm saying usually we're not open. We didn't shut the bar down.
It doesn't matter. I am that important.
No, he just wanted to say it like that. Yeah, he just wanted to make it into an
I am
issue.
that important.
Wait, we have an event Sunday?
Yeah, Colts.
We have a
It's a private event.
It's a private thing for Colt Beeler. It's a friend of theirs. that's having
I know who Cole Beeler is.
Yeah, and Colt's doing a get together. One of their friends, I think, is sick or going through something, and so they're
Full
trying
disclosure, I was being an asshole.
Yeah, which he's good at. So anyway, so you're at the St.
St. Louis Art Museum. We always celebrate our birthdays together. By the way, he will be down on Saturday. You get to
Oh,
meet
yeah?
him. You get to meet
Oh,
him.
cool. What's his name?
His name is Tim Mitchell.
Okay,
Super stoked about it. I haven't seen him in a year, so
that's good.
definitely miss
Keep
him.
bringing your friends out because I really need to know who the hell hangs out with you in your life because I don't know who the hell could.
I get that.
Basically, he needs to commend him and give him free shots.
Oh no, I'm gonna be extra hard on Zach. That's what she said. But I'm gonna be extra hard on you for about 2 weeks. Yeah.
Is that because I put my notice in with you?
You didn't put my notice in. You didn't put your notice in. You
Notice.
just. I'm not gonna say what it is because it's just it's a personal thing. But Zach was a little freaking bitchy, disloyal bitch. Is basically what it is.
Whoa. This is the first time in my life I've ever been called disloyal.
To me,
Let the record show.
it's the first time that I've ever seen any chink in the armor on your
We can't
royalty.
say chink anymore.
Chink.
They're called agents.
I'm not talking about agents. I'm talking about a chink in the
He is a
armor.
boomer.
It's true.
I am not a
Okay,
boomer.
boomer.
What age group do you think I am? You guys, I get called boomer all the time. I'm like,
Boomer.
just because I'm older than everybody down here. You guys are assholes, man.
Anyway, St. Louis Art Museum.
Damn it.
I do tour shows, so if I'm ever in the St. Louis area, you want a tour show, come holler at me.
Yeah, and it was fake tour because he was giving ridiculous information about wood things and
Got him.
Carrie, you shut the fuck up.
Here you go.
who's that? Carrie. I've been hanging out with Zach since high school, and I could tell you. That's what I'm saying. I want to know, like, I got to get one of your friends from like high school on here to actually delve into the Zach of yesteryear, because something, whatever brought you to this point in your osmosis of shit, I don't know what happened. Like, the dude takes a month to move. He takes a month to move out of a one-bedroom fucking studio. I'm saying the F word more tonight than I ever have said it.
This is the effect you're having.
I took 2 Tuesdays off, and this is how I'm treated.
Tuesdays.
To move. He was trying to distance himself from me. I know.
I lied about one Tuesday. I did. I lied about one Tuesday. The second Tuesday, I was legitimately
lied.
Had
Shit.
time to put in his application.
Dude, he's a lying shit.
No, the first Tuesday I lied because it was February 18th, and it's a very hard day for Zach.
Never lie to me.
So I couldn't deal with people that
Tell
well.
me the truth. I
February
can't
18th
deal
was
with
my
your
mother's
bullshit
birthday.
tonight. I can't deal with your people
And
or
I
your
miss
bullshit
my
tonight.
mother.
I would be like,
And I want my
thanks a
mom
lot.
back.
Thanks a lot,
It's
Zach.
that simple.
Anyway, always be honest with me, you chintzy bastard. All right.
We can't say chintzy anymore.
Yes, I can. I can say whatever the hell I want.
Boomer, he can say whatever.
I'm not a boomer, but I can say
Not
whatever.
only are you saying fuck, you're a racist.
I can
Wait,
do that shit in World War I, but you can't do that anymore.
Wait a minute. Back in 20.
Do you know that women have rights too?
When is a boomer?
When did women start working?
Google, when are you considered a boomer?
don't know.
I'm in your 70s.
When you look like Mike Bloomberg.
I'm in your 70s.
What year were you born in?
69. I'm not a boomer.
Oh, well.
I'm not. I got to be born in the
Wait,
40s or 50s.
no, it says to 1964. Close enough, you're a boomer.
It's not close enough.
Okay.
There's a whole lot
You're
of
a boomer.
difference.
Nah, we're out.
Anyway,
You're a boomer.
I'm tired. That's ageism. I'm following suit.
Oh, now you're going to claim discrimination?
Yes.
You straight said chink and chintzy.
Okay, and I wasn't using them in the reference that you're putting them to. I was using a chink in the armor like it's an old saying, not the way you did. So you're the racist, not me.
I am.
You are a racist.
I don't know if you're offensive right now.
They're no longer allowed because of woke people getting all upset about
Why
saying
are you
chink.
so defensive about being
Calm
called a
down. You
racist?
might,
No, I'm upset. I'm mad about being called a
right
boomer.
now.
Thank you
You
very
might be having a heart attack.
Not about the racism, it's the boomer.
Calm down, Grandpa. Here, you might be having a heart
You don't like to
attack.
take it to be upset like that.
You might have to call 911.
9/11. I've heard about that before.
No, he wouldn't call 911. You just press the fucking health alert.
Yeah, I think
Life alert.
But how am I going to do it on my rotary phone?
Eric's gonna go home and cry into his social security check.
I don't get those yet, but eventually I will get them. And when I get them, I'm going hog wild. I'm just saying. All right. So moving on with information that people want to hear. This turned into just a
motorcycle.
What happened? Regina, I like you being on the show, but things are taking a weird turn in the
I'm
show.
sorry.
All right, so St. Pat's Pub Crawl is Tuesday, March 17th. People were asking about that online. They are doing the downtown pub crawl on Tuesday, March 17th. Your birthday's...
I always celebrate it on St. Pat's because nobody wants to drink with me on the 19th.
I feel like all the good events this year.
I will drink with you any day.
Yeah, but nobody wants to after off last night at St. Pat's.
I don't like
Obviously, you're so
I usually don't go
I'll
out
have
and
a
work
drink with you.
every St. Pat's for
I'll have a
the
drink
last
with you.
3 years. So let's do it, man.
Yeah, come down.
Our sound is distorted as fuck.
Are we doing open mic night
it?
that night?
I don't know. I'm going to need that Tuesday off, so.
No, we're not doing open mic that night.
Sweet.
All right, I'm going to turn everybody's volume down. That should lower the distortion level.
I am.
You are mic'd. All right. So move on, a little couple local things. Thanks to our karaoke sponsors, Hempy's, Cape CBD, and Vape Cape for next week.
And Main Street Station.
And Main Street Station. Oh, that was the first
You
one.
don't think it's because
Yes.
it's the phones, do you?
I don't think so. We've had it in the phones before. Let's just move it and see. Let's see if that helps at all.
It's good.
All right.
Give us some feedback if that sounds better.
Yeah, give us feedback if that sounds better.
Everybody's volume down. That should lower the distortion.
Okay, but again, thanks to our karaoke sponsors, Main Street Station sponsored, Hempy's, Cape CBD, and of course next week is Vape Cape, and thanks to Regina, who is my karaoke ambassador, and she's getting all these sponsors involved. I think it's awesome. We just need people to come out.
Amen.
The people that are coming out, we appreciate you coming out, but we actually have the best karaoke in town. It's by and far the best karaoke. We have sponsors for it. They give gifts away. We have props.
I mean, amazing gifts at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool stuff. So if you're on a Wednesday night, if you have nothing to do, I get we've been a little off schedule here lately, but we're on Wednesdays again. Hopefully Caitlin's back next week. I know she's much more pleasant to look at than me in the booth, and probably even Rob. But anyway, so do want to encourage everybody to shop local. Always shop local. And speaking of that, I talked to Mary up at the corner store today. I stopped in. Their meal today was red beans and rice with seasoned sausage, and man, it was phenomenal. I got a big cup of it, and we talked for a minute.
I sent her a message today asking to talk to her.
Yeah, yeah. She's a sweet lady, and she and Robert, her husband, are in there. So go to the corner store. They've been slow, like a lot of people downtown. Main Street was slow. We need to keep these local businesses going. So make sure you guys. Make sure you shop local. Always give local a shot before you give Amazon and the chain stores a shot.
Not trying to be dumbass here, but where's Main Street?
Main Street Station is down the street.
Just right
has all the food.
This is Main Street right here.
Bratwurst place?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got the best grilled
Well,
cheese
you're not
in town.
being. You just didn't know. You've never been down there, prick.
Get a heart
Anyway, so
Yes.
who called you prick? It was like out of nowhere.
Some boomer.
It's that ghost that's going to rape you. All right. So I did want to give a shout out to Alice Johnson. Alice Johnson is this is not local. Alice Johnson she lived to be 101 years old. She was the American hero that is responsible for us being on the moon.
Yeah, dude. I'm surprised that didn't get more coverage than it did.
Well, and that's the problem is we're caught up in this crazy media cycle of all this coronavirus and all this other stuff. And I want to thank Dimitri again. I'm going to go over coronavirus later, but Dimitri posted something on Facebook. It's really good. Coronavirus is basically the flu, and there's different levels. Yeah, it's like the cold, and there's different levels of it in different contexts. This is 19, and so it's a little more. It can be. What is it?
It's been
contagious.
on Lysol bottles since the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. Coronavirus is not new, so don't get shocked. It's a way to scare people when they're using it now for election stuff. So don't get worried about it. But to go back, Alice Johnson was responsible for us getting on the moon. She died at 101 years old. She's an African-American woman, and she's credited with kind of being the lead of that 3 or 4 group. They had what was the name of that movie?
Hidden
Zach?
Figures.
Hidden Figures. With Kevin Costner and the girl. No, the girl from Empire was on there. What's her name?
I haven't seen that show.
Empire, the lead actress that was in Hidden Figures. Anyway.
The lead actress that was in Hustle and Flow.
Yes.
I'm blanking.
Say it's hard out here for a pimp. That's a great movie.
When you try to get the money for the rent.
Yeah. So anyway, they made a movie about Hidden Figures, so check that movie out. But American heroes come in all shapes and sizes and creeds and colors, and we want to make sure we give a shout out to her because we, at a time when Germany, China, Japan, and Russia all had space programs and everybody was trying to race to the moon to be the first.
We built the soundstage
Catherine
first.
Johnson and not Alice.
You ever seen
what?
Capricorn 1?
Catherine Johnson?
Oh, Catherine, my fault. It is Catherine. I think it's Catherine Alice. Maybe it's not Alice at all. I don't know. Where's Alice Johnson? That's a name for somebody. Alice Johnson.
Alice Cooper?
No, it's Alice Johnson. Maybe it's a horror movie or something. I don't know. Sorry. I watched Midsommar. We're going to talk about that here in a second.
Oh, dude. I got some shit to say.
Jesus. All right. So moving on with local, some interest stuff. You guys can jump in anytime. Recently, over 70,000 ceiling fans were being recalled from Lowe's. Harbor Breeze is the brand because while they're on, the fan blades fly off and decapitate people. Not decapitate people, but they're hitting people in the face. So if you have a Harbor Breeze fan from Lowe's, maybe check it. They've got a list out there at Lowe's that will let you know what is the recall ones.
Glad I didn't buy it.
Everybody right now is like, you're texting your husband, hey, what Harbor Breeze? Do we have Harbor
We
Breeze?
just bought a brand new house in November. I'm like,
Yeah. So the things that hold the fan blades on, they're like for some reason not holding them and they're slinging them off. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Hey Zach, come in this room for a minute. Look up at that fan and expose your neck for me.
And go like this first.
Quick on the test. You
You
gotta rip the fucking head off. That's
You got to
what
do
I'm
that. Anyway, so if you do have a Harbor Breeze fan from Lowe's, they're recalling and make sure there's a certain brand that's doing it. Now I'm going to go to each of you individually because this is a morals question. Typically,
We're gonna skip me then.
no, I'm going to you for sure. I'm going to start with Regina because she's back on the dais. So a cab driver found $187,000 in his cab. And it was some kind of a deposit or something, and actually somebody won the money, and then it was supposed to like an inheritance or something,
Gotcha.
and they left it in there. Okay, and so They get out, they jump out of the cab, and they leave it in the cab. So this cab driver turns it in. So my question to you is, would you turn it in?
Okay, so is this a Lyft? Is it an Uber? Is it a cab?
It said cab. It didn't say Lyft or Uber. So would that make a difference?
It does, because a lot of Lyft drivers and Uber drivers have cameras in their car.
Uh-huh. What does that mean? They also control the hardware. They can erase stuff.
Well,
I'm sorry, $187,000.
Stealing the money.
It's not stealing, is it? Somebody left it? Is it stealing? It's not yours, so it's stealing?
So wait,
I
is
consider
it?
it a cash tip.
Are you driving the Uber,
Oh,
or
yeah.
are you driving the cab, or are you getting in next
That's
after
what
they
I'm saying.
left?
So this was the driver.
Okay.
So the driver turned it in.
I get that, right? But yeah, that's a good little dilemma.
I'm curious because
I'll be honest
know.
with you. You know, that's one of those moral questions. You're walking down the street, you see a bag of money, and you pick it up. You're supposed to go turn it in. Me, I'm sorry, but if there was a bank robbery, I'm just being honest. If there was a bank robbery and I was walking somewhere and some dude was like escaping from the cops and he threw a bag out, and like 2 weeks later I was walking by and I saw this bag like behind this fence line, and it was. I'm just saying.
If it's an Uber and a Lyft, when you get into an Uber and a Lyft, when you hit request ride, you're technically saying that you're not liable for any lost or stolen goods. It is legit in your little bitty
It is true.
contract.
But morally, see, this tests your moral compass.
I'm Catholic. I'll go to confession on Saturday and I'll repent my
So
sins.
you were saying you would take the money under that circumstance? It'd be hard, wouldn't it?
Keepers,
It would be hard, wouldn't it? Like, especially, now would it make a difference if the guy got in?
Just drink away your regret there.
It's
Yeah.
$187,000.
Yeah.
she's got plenty of money to buy as many drinks as she
How are
needs.
you losing $187,000?
Okay, see, there's the other question. Should it be taken because someone's stupid?
Like,
I mean,
187. First of all, if I'm in a Lyft or a cab, that 107 is staying in my lap. It's not leaving my side. So I don't know how this happened. It's I'm not sure. What about you, Zach? Wait, I already know what Zach.
Well, for him, it would be 107-year-olds in his lap.
Jesus. I don't think you can.
Would
carry
it be
that
at 187 when you turned it back in, or would it be?
That was my joke. I would say, oh man, somebody left 187,000.
Yeah.
Who leaves $170,000 in a cab? I better turn in this 140,000.
This 120, man. No,
No, I would not turn it in.
Okay.
That's simple.
Now, would it matter if you knew the story behind the money?
No.
Seriously,
would.
like if it was a freaking orphanage, you cold-hearted
Man,
bastard.
fuck them kids.
Speaking says the foster
Hold
home
on,
child.
put these on and say that.
Yeah.
the far left field we're talking about now.
This is the. God,
Man.
look. I'm sure your dad is an amazing guy, but did you get those because they look like that? Did you go, hey Dad, let me get your old glasses?
No, Dad.
Because they look like pedophile
Well,
glasses?
Dad passed about almost 4 years ago.
So you had his glasses.
and I have his glasses.
So you put them on.
And-
Did you know they looked kind of that
no,
way?
here's the thing. I needed a new pair of glasses.
Okay. And you guys were the same. You had the same script.
Oddly,
Really?
they're pretty damn close.
Wow.
So I actually went to go get my eyes checked last Thursday.
Yeah.
And they're ready now, but I didn't have enough time to go get them.
Okay.
So I had to use these because my contacts, I was out of them, and my other glasses.
So
broke.
me recognizing you as a pedophile was that
It's funny
something
to
somebody
me.
else said, or
No, it's just the ongoing jokes. 'Cause
Okay.
you saw me in here last, I guess it was Friday.
yeah? Why is that funny though?
So I had these on.
Why is it funny to call somebody you look like a pedophile?
Because
How is that
you
funny?
know I'm not. So
No,
that's-
well,
it's funny.
I was gonna say
Hey, baby, how old are you?
It's about as funny as it is. Like,
he's too old for you.
How funny it is directly
So am I. I'm a boomer,
proportionate
I
to how
guess.
true it is.
I mean, that's fair. But no, we all wore Hawaiian shirts and wore our mustaches, and I just decided to throw these on just cause, you know. And I kind of looked like Walter White.
Yeah. I know you, so I know you're not that.
So-
like you're a legitimate guy, but like if I didn't know you and I saw you walking somewhere, I would pull my girls.
Imagine
my twins
walking
closer
into
to me.
work
I don't
like
blame
that, and I did it. I did walk into work like this, and
Can we talk
everybody
about
just
women
went,
being pedophiles too? There are women that are pedophiles.
Yeah, but they're all
Still people
hot.
saying the sounds messed up.
Seriously, why is it so different? No, seriously, Regina. Did you know this? Did you know that it is like in the male world, like when a female teacher
Oh, I know. oh, I'm well aware.
It's like not.
Yeah,
it's not
he
a
did
like.
He did it.
Well, no, yeah, I'm saying it's not a like. To dudes, it's not a crime. It's like, did you
Really
got the
fuck your
teacher?
teacher?
Yeah, but
Pete Davidson talked about that. Huh?
yeah, but the
the
kid
sound
is
still
probably
messed up?
fucked up for a long time.
Is the sound still messed up?
Because
Is it
that
still
shit
distorted?
They just said that, so yeah.
Okay,
Hang on,
maybe
that's
it's just me.
Allison.
Is it just
Allison,
me?
what's wrong with the sound?
Is it distorted still? Must be distorted.
Oh yeah, it's got like a reverb.
I don't know why that is. Anyway, I'm pulling all the volumes down, so hopefully people will just adjust with it. Sorry about the sound, guys. We have no technology. We have no producer.
We have lights.
Jay, yeah, because I can flip a switch. Jay bagged on us. Actually, I should not be mad at you. I should be mad at Jay. Jay bagged on us, and he's still doing other stuff. Like I assumed you just will give up your life and give it to me when you help me with things. And he just took off and left us. He doesn't watch the show anyway. What does that say about the show?
Well, did he ever watch the show?
No, he never did. Damn it, Zach. Could be making sense. All right. So, speaking of world events, in Scotland, they have just put through legislature where all girls and women get free hygienic products, signed, like tampons and pads.
Good.
I think it's awesome, and I'll tell you why I think it's awesome. I'm not saying that you still have to buy them at the store; they're still available for purchase. But I think public places where you go, like I'm actually thinking about putting some stuff in available for people, because it's, to me, somebody made sense. It's like toilet paper. When you go out somewhere to use the bathroom, toilet paper is free, and that's a hygienic process. So for women, I think that's kind of cool, man. I think I may go ahead and just include that in my.
Charge a fucking luxury tax on fucking hygiene products and.
Yeah,
if it's pink, it costs an extra $2.
Yeah.
I agree. It's not. I think
Fucked up.
this is one of those natural things that women go through, and I think it should be something that, if it can be covered, it can be covered. I think that's cool, man. It's it shouldn't be a shameful thing. It shouldn't be something that women have to ask for. It should be just you go in the bathroom, it's available, right, Regina? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why there's so many companies now on Facebook and stuff, like you see ads.
Yeah.
They're actually covering the cost of like those taxes.
That's awesome.
Like there's Flex that's out there now that's covering those costs.
Good.
Yeah.
They need stuff like
There's
that.
so many
That's
organic
bullshit.
companies out there too.
Because,
that's
dude,
doing
could
it.
you imagine if it was guys, how quickly it would be free? Seriously, if it was dudes that had monthly.
If we started bleeding for the penises tomorrow,
Yes.
there would be a fucking.
Yeah, there would be
Male
legislation in
tampons in
place.
every
Yeah,
fucking place
there'd be
you go.
legislation in
Stupid.
place tomorrow. I'm not saying that men are favored. I'm just saying that this.
Men are favored.
I'm just glad that this is something that's being addressed.
I'm just be born to
Patriarchy.
Goddamn
better
patriarchy.
sex. That's all I'm saying.
God damn it, Zach.
No, it's
Like,
not
at the
the
end of the
sex.
day,
It's not
look.
the sex. It's the
I could have been
physical process.
born male or female, and there was a 1 in 2 chance of that sucking. For me, it didn't suck.
No, it did.
It did. Yeah. No,
did.
I'm not gonna lie there.
If your genitals dangle, clearly you're better.
Obviously.
According to the patriarchy. I don't know
Yeah,
what that
fuck.
patriarchy is.
Even though that means that you're more likely to get them caught on shit and ripped off.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I sit on my
the
balls
most sensitive
several times a
area
day.
on your body has guideposts that guide anything that wants to hit them directly up to them. All right,
It's like right
kinda
here.
fucked.
No, I'm just saying. I think there's a certain time in this world where we start giving credence and credit to people that deserve it. And I'm saying there women for a long time, and I'm just saying, have been kind of, I'm not going to say put upon, but that's basically it. They've been kind of pushed off the side and neglected in their care and all this kind of stuff. And
It kind of comes down to equality. Like, once again, women are not treated equally to men. And especially on items like that, we are not.
There is no way to treat you
there is no
equally on
equal.
that.
Well, see, here's the thing, and that's the argument. So, right, I believe that there should be a balance, right? I think it's great that Scotland is making this move, and I think individual businesses, if you want to be somebody that's inclusive and show that you're thinking of that, like me, I've got things up in my mirrors now. If you're having, if you're being someone sexually aggressive with you, or you're being sexually abused, there's a number you can call to talk to somebody in the room, so you're private. We also have staff that's here available, but I think it's good. So there's the side. There's two sides to it. There's no equality when it comes to hygiene, for example. But I think we need to acknowledge the fact that women and girls go through this This is just part of who
If
they
you
are.
put pads in the female, I want dude wipes in the men's.
What dude wipes? What are dude wipes?
It's actually a thing.
It's a thing.
somehow.
What are dude
They're
wipes?
flushable baby wipes.
I use those at home, but I'm not putting them in there. You wipe your stinky
Yeah,
butt
those
with the
are
toilet paper.
expensive.
You have
Which
toilet
also
paper.
are not flushable, by
Really?
the way.
That's your
Yeah, they are
argument?
flushable, dude.
They are not.
Dude
They
wipes
cause
are
fat
expensive,
burns,
but
dude.
we
They
can
are-
put
they
fucking
are-
pads
they
and
are
tampons
flushable.
in there.
You saw
That
one.
ruins everything.
You saw one video
I'm
of
saying
some
compared to toilet
dude
paper, they are
that got clogged.
The thing, I promise. Look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up.
They are flushable. Just so
I
they
literally
break down.
don't
You
care
can flush them, but they're gonna
about
fucking
scalp
It-
and
they
fucking
did.
cause
My
fat
basement.
burns,
Yeah, that's what happened. My basement. It had that. That drain where
How
everything
much
drains
are
in.
you flushing? Like,
Well, I mean,
Dude, how
I'm a
much-
big guy. I've got a hairy ass.
I'm a big guy.
Six of them
A lot.
wipe
Yeah,
your
exactly.
ass.
It should take like 2.
Well, it took a month or 2 to actually. And I live with
I've
Dustin,
been using
so
them for a year. Oh god, well there you go. Shit central there. Shit
Yeah.
storm central.
I mean, dude's up at 3, 5, and 7. Taking
Dude,
a
I
shit.
have to be honest and say, yeah. What is this from? Is this from HuffPost?
from the Google machine.
Len the plumber,
And
the
we
Google
believe
machine.
everything
Don't
on
flush
Google.
'em.
No, I get
believe
it.
everything I read
So
all the
listen,
time.
there's
true.
your thing's trying to talk to me now. I don't know who Steve is.
Who is Steve?
But anyway, I understand that it does happen, but that's like with prolonged use and with guys that are just overusing them. And like I said, when I
should've
use
shaved
it,
my ass
I
out.
use like 2 wipes. That's all
Save a
it
lot of
takes.
time.
You flip them over, you use the other side,
Like
you're
peanut
good.
butter on a shag
Anyway,
rug.
I'm glad Scotland's making this move, and I hope some of us here in this country. I think for it to happen in this country, though, I think individual businesses can start taking part and jumping in and doing it. I think I'm going to probably do that. All right, moving on.
The moment
Missouri-
you do that, they're going to bitch that it's not the right brand.
Well, no, I'm going to ask
Well,
what
you
in
know-
general, but it's the process of if you have pads and you have tampons, if you have just a like
Don't get the cardboard applicators.
yeah, no, don't do that because that some people are allergic to it. But if you get the plastic and then you get the
I
pads.
use lamb's wool.
You get the pads. I don't know what that lamb's wool's for condoms. You
Get the
freak.
get the
That's lamb's
unscented.
You turned it
Not
into
lamb's wool.
What do you use for lamb's wool?
If you're using
Yeah,
lamb's
that'd
wool
be funny.
condoms, you're gonna have a kid every time.
That would be hilarious.
This is like in the fucking medieval times, guys. It was a joke, and they don't still do
You
it.
are
damn.
You're a
Horrible.
sexist.
This
I'm
is
with
a-
you.
You're a
This is a
sexist.
thing
No,
that
I
they
know.
used to do. I'm
You're
not
a
making this
sexist.
up.
Hey, you can't blame the ignorant, okay?
No, you guys are sexist. You want women to use
you got
lamb's
me.
wool. You know what lamb's wool is?
You know,
I know lamb's wool is.
They fucking scalp a baby.
You know what lamb's wool is?
I said I only use lamb's wool. I was joking.
You're gross.
That's what I soak my tampons in when I put them on my butt.
All these sexists over here. Sorry, Regina. I invite you on the show, and these guys are sexist.
The lamb's wool
Here I
soaks
was
up the
cooking
vodka
dinner
so
for
much
my
better than
family.
Yeah,
I
she
left
was
my
eating.
family.
She left her family to come here for this sexism.
That was your choice. Guess what? Your rights allow you to have
Actually,
that
Eric
choice.
was
Equality.
There's your equality.
Eric was like, "I'll give you free booze."
I need.
Where's our free booze?
What the
Talk about being equal.
Wait, what the fuck? I'm out, dude. Fuck the free booze. I didn't say free booze. That was her saying that. She gets free booze on Tuesdays for ambassadorship.
Oh, that's Wednesdays.
There's Wednesdays. What day is this? This is
Shit,
Wednesday.
just take it where you can get it. Get
Thursday.
Tuesday too.
Hey guys,
So-
the boomers losing the track of the
Okay,
days.
so first of all,
First of all,
First of all, I'm not a boomer. Second of all,
Sorry, Melissa.
I didn't give her free drinks to come in tonight. She said I needed a strong female voice, someone that would stand on what she said, and that's why I had her come in. There you go. All right. So screw you. I don't give somebody free drinks. I didn't give somebody free drinks and not somebody else free drinks. And I carry your cigarettes on purpose. So screw you. All right. So Missouri is home to
And it's
dozens
Thursday.
of priests and monks with sexual assault allegations
Kill them all.
that are pedophiles.
Light them on fire.
A Catholic church fixer whose job it was to follow these priests around. Could you imagine that being your job?
No.
You were hired to follow these
What are you doing? I'm
dudes.
making sure he doesn't fuck your kids.
No, that's exactly right.
know.
And then it's your job to pick them up in the middle of the night and move them to another location. So this church fixer that worked for the Catholic Church, who was hired by the Catholic Church in Missouri to follow these guys around, he had cases. So he had files. These guys had files, and he took these files with him, and his job was to follow them and to watch them. And anytime things started getting a little hairy, he was supposed to take them and move them to another location.
Because they got too old for him?
So when you say fixer, I assume that you mean they know he's doing it,
they do.
They're literally getting them out before shit blows up on them.
Yes.
They're not watching them fuck the kids.
Yes, and while
they're not protecting the kids, protecting the fuckers.
While we've been sitting here talking about coronavirus and politics, they've been moving pedophile priests to our state. Missouri has a ton of pedophile priests in this state. So
be a member of the club.
Reason I brought this up is, first of all,
you think they use a Boy
Scout
as a cum rag?
First of all, oh my God, and secondly, here's my thing. Is there anybody here that's a Catholic?
I grew up Catholic.
I was raised that way.
Remember?
Okay.
Grew up Catholic.
I said I was going to go to confession.
No longer.
Okay, you did say that.
Yeah.
Well, some people say confession.
Too much guilt.
But so here's my thing, and I have family members that are in the Catholic faith. I understand that it's actually the world's largest faith. I looked this up. It is there are more Catholics.
It's one of the oldest religions.
It is the oldest. It predates Christianity. It actually was the precursor to Christianity. But anyway,
Catholicism is Christianity.
It is
the original.
The original, right? So the reason.
First child fucker.
Yeah. So the reason I brought this up is the fact that. It's a subject that, like Bill Burr talked about this on a morning show one time, and he talked about how the commentators asked him. They said, "Hey, are you a little concerned that you brought this up about the Catholic Church and religion?" And he goes, "No, they should be concerned that this is going on in their faith, and what are they doing about it?" And here's my thing:
2,800 deaths of coronavirus is more important than this topic.
Yeah, and that's my saying, and here's my thing is. When we have the oldest faith, the oldest religion, and they are basically saying this is okay, we're going to move them around. Now they're recently getting a little more not okay about it. But it took them.
I mean, there was one near a local town, and he's currently.
Just arrested him. And the reason I brought this up is
buy yourself a brand new home, get yourself check from Rome.
The reason I brought this up is because of this. They just arrested one in a Missouri town not too far from here. Of course, everything in Missouri is not too far.
St. Joseph Parish.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah. And he was actually he actually was here. He was at St. Mary's, and he was at another place. This same guy. And they track where they're at. I mean, it's a matter of record. The problem with it is the Catholic Church knows of these people. They know what they're doing, and they know the credible cases. And these are ones that are basically, we have proof.
So why don't we just take these priests to court?
Well, they are now. They're finally.
I don't understand why that wasn't a thing.
I agree.
The current bishop now, like the bishop that we have now, is the one who's actually started this. He wants the cases open. He wants people to know what is going on. He wants the dirt of the Catholic Church basically open.
The filth of Saruman washes
He's basically like, the people, the bishops, the cardinals, everything before us, they fucked up. They hid this. They moved everybody around. We're sorry. As the Catholic Church, we're sorry.
Yeah. Well, the best disinfectant is sunlight, and I think finally the Catholic Church is acknowledging, and they're putting people in positions that can start fixing this stuff.
I just don't understand why parents that found out about this didn't just go immediately to the police.
Well, because what you have to understand is, and this is the problem, and the
Vatican has more money than them.
Well, the Vatican has more money.
Look,
but
if you can get money, I guess I understand that.
But here's the thing. Here's my thing. What you have to understand about, when this is what people from the outside believe, is modern religion is kind of cultish, and the Catholic Church. Yeah, the Catholic Church is but you can find your faith with God without being in a church.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but the Catholic Church is, and if you're going to talk about religion as a cult, it's the oldest cult in the world. This is what people say on the outside.
No, this is what we talked about that one time.
I went to Catholic school.
I mean, we had this conversation. What's the difference between a religion and a cult? Whether or not the original leader's dead.
Exactly. So my thing is this. As somebody, I was molested. So as somebody that was molested, my mom asked me at 12 years old, did I want to tell anybody? But she also advised me that my life would be changed forever. And I think this is something, the victims get shamed, and these victims get put upon. In the Catholic Church, like he said, the Vatican has savefuls of money. They have so much money, and if they want to, they can ruin your life. And I think we get to a point where now it's become, Well, but that's the thing is we've gotten to a point now where you can't hide it anymore. It's something you can't just rush and shift people around. And unfortunately, it's been going on for so long. And I'm the same way with you. If my kid, first of all, there would be no priest that would make it to court if my child was touched.
Amen.
That's just me.
Amen.
Now, people, I'm not saying that anybody that doesn't go take out their own retribution on people, there's anything wrong, because I get it. People want to follow the law. You can't take the law into your own hands. But I'm saying when the law breaks down, and this is what happened in the Catholic Church for so many years, the law broke down, and what we assumed was our children were being taken care of and protected. They weren't. They were being used and as this and then they, the Catholic Church tried to sit around and talk about it's because, well, we don't allow our priests to have sex. They're not allowed to get married. So they started adjusting those rules. No, when you take a vow of celibacy for God, nothing should change that. And that's why
it's just Ra's way of punishing the world.
Well, I mean, there's a certain karma value to that. That's what you're saying. There's a certain sweet justice in the world, and sometimes we don't want to wait until these people die for them to get their comeuppance. We want it to happen sooner. So here, all I'll say is it's not just the Catholic Church. This happens in all faith. It happens in the Boy Scouts. They're going bankrupt because they're settling all these lawsuits with people because these scoutmasters took advantage of boys. Look, first of all, sickos, keep your hands to yourselves. Stop taking advantage of boys. I don't know what your all's issue is with little boys and little girls.
Just quit diddling people.
Just quit diddling people.
It happens
Seriously.
at school, it happens at church, it happens at programs, it happens everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, mine was a 6th grade teacher that did it to me. So, yes, it happens everywhere. It happens when you least expect it, which is why it's such a shocking thing, and it's a shameful thing for people.
Normally the people you trust the most.
And that's who gets in your circle, and you trust them. So, I will say, my mom gave me the choice, and this was back in the 70s, late 70s. So it was a little different time. There wasn't a whole lot of talk about, molestation and stuff. Now it's kind of out there, and now it's okay to talk about it. So, listen, just as a little disclaimer, if your child comes to you with an allegation of something, don't go kill the priest or kill the teacher, but get your information together, find out what's going on, and then report it. Don't hide it.
I feel like it's too out there now. I feel like it's hip to be molested.
Do you really? You are a sick bastard. Please explain that. It's hip to be molested.
Think about it.
Are you talking about the Me Too stuff, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, now it's anybody and their brother.
Yeah, but
maybe it's that common.
Yeah, maybe it's that common. That's the problem.
Yeah, maybe it's just the
people
new
are just
trend.
now starting to come out with it.
Well, no, I do understand what you're saying. As somebody that was a victim, I do understand how you're saying how people sometimes like to be victims.
Right.
And then every little perceived, inconsistency in someone's behavior. Oh, that was this and that was that. I get it. I was abused.
I'm not making light of the situation.
No, I do get what you're saying. It is nowadays everybody wants to be the center of attention, and they want to get
a one night stand and it goes wrong. You forget to call someone.
Right,
Boom, he touched me. He raped me. Blah blah blah.
The one blemish on Kobe Bryant was that one thing. And we all know that it was probably a late night, 2:30 a.m. She shows up at the hotel room, hey, Kobe Bryant, and kind of like a booty call thing. But we all know but it tarnished him a little bit. His once untarnished, reputation was tarnished a little, and they talked about it.
At least his sins got burned away.
Well,
fuck.
Wow.
Fuck.
Comes by fire.
Wow. That was
too soon.
It's not.
Not for him.
No.
So here's too soon. Here's the thing. I'm very open about this stuff, so it's not too soon for you because it's okay for you. It's up to me not to get offended by what he's saying. That's really what it is. And that's the truth. It really is. It's up to you not to get offended by what somebody says. Sometimes when you get offended by what somebody says, I think you're giving them a lot of power. I don't know what Rob's saying wow about.
I don't know. He just walked in and said wow.
No, you know what it is?
He's watching.
No, wait. I know he's watching.
Who's watching?
Because I said something about Rob and karaoke. Because Rob's a narcissist. He's going to hear me. Rob's a narcissist. So of all of that shit, he only heard his name. Out of all that stuff we were saying, he only heard Rob.
And now you're just constantly calling him a narcissist live.
I did.
And he's watching.
I'm a narcissist. I'm a narcissist.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing. I am a narcissist. It's not a bad thing. I love Rob. Rob knows that. Rob's a very talented
You know
guy.
who else are narcissists?
Who?
Boomers.
Bringing it round.
We talked about narcissism. We actually talked about this on the show one time, and this is what I'm saying is you got to be able to say something without people getting offended. Me calling Rob a narcissist is not a knock against Rob. It's not. Some people have a certain pride about themselves. Rob has a certain pride about himself. He's a talented guy, so he has a certain his value about himself.
Anything, Mama?
Where are you going? You running? You running? You uncomfortable? Narcissist.
Anything?
Selfish about your needs.
Sprite or...
Yes.
Don't project on me, narcissist.
Oh, I am. Anyway.
So can we talk about his fucking shirt?
And what I think is hilarious, is you, of all people, criticizing what somebody says about somebody else.
How dare you?
Fuck you. I love how he does that.
Up until recently, you were bald.
Yeah,
I was.
You were balder than Eric.
Listen, I love how, I don't know about that. I don't know, I'm pretty bald. I love
me
how
have
he
this.
does
You've got
that.
peach fuzz.
I love how he does that. The worst guys that say the most about people are the worst to go, oh, listen to what you're saying. You sick bastard. Damn you. You're just wallowing in your own
You damn right, dude. I like fucking started
narcissistic
shit.
bullshit.
He would literally roll around in his own shit if he
would.
thought it would make people
He
laugh.
would.
I do.
Yeah, he do.
He do.
He does not wipe his butt.
Yeah, he do.
He do.
He do. That was a pun without, I didn't mean that pun, but it went well. Poop mouth.
It's like Hershey syrup.
Poop mouth.
Hershey
Anyway,
Squirts.
you are watching Session Stream live from Shaker's Bar downtown Cape. And you're watching
5 years
one of the
of
most
diarrhea.
uncomfortable shows we've ever had. All right.
My name is Zach, and for 5 long years,
How did I
I've had
Because I needed
diarrhea.
balance. I knew today would
You
be
needed
weird.
balance.
I had a lot of topics I knew that
I must
knew
become
that they
someone
go
else.
nuts about.
I
And
must become something else.
I was personally attacking Zach earlier, and I was whispering in his ear shit I was going to do to him, and then I was going to leave it alone, and then I got on the show and said some stuff, so then I kind of opened the door for him to start doing his thing.
And now we're talking about molestation, so...
Yeah, now he's an evil bastard.
He's
what
whispering
it
about
is
what
is
he's gonna do
when
to him.
when evil people feel someone like coming into their world, they're like, yes, my son, yes, welcome, unlimited power, unlimited power. That's what manipulators do, man. You
Use the hate.
grand manipulator. Yeah, he did a psychological manipulation. I feel abused, and I kind of like it a little bit, I guess. To be honest with you. Anyway,
I could be playing Call of Duty right now.
you could be playing Call of Duty, and yeah, you could. But I needed you to save the show. I did. I needed
There's
you to come
no
in.
saving this show.
Yeah.
We're in a pneumatic tube straight to
Regina's
hell.
here.
It went downhill about 3
What'd
months
you say?
ago.
It's we're in a pneumatic tube straight to hell.
This show's crumbling like the second tower.
Oh my God.
No. I think it's
He just
dropping
sits
like
around
Tower
and tries to
7.
like. He just thinks of the most like the Kobe Bryant thing. He just thinks of whatever he knows it's going to make somebody go, "What the hell?" And he says it. You are literally the Howard Stern with far less talent.
Fantastic.
You are ridiculously untalented.
So he's Adam Carolla?
That one actually hurt.
And he's a boomer. Anyway,
Yeah, he is.
so Jordan Peele is one of my favorite writers and directors. We've talked about Jordan before.
Oh, I love Jordan
From
Peele.
Key and Peele, from Get Out, and from Us recently in the new Twilight Zone. He's coming back in June with Candyman.
Well, he's not directing that movie. He's producing it.
Is he doing a music video?
I thought he wrote it.
He might have wrote. I don't know. I
did part of
saw
the
him
script.
as producer credit.
Okay, producer.
Like the legit Candyman.
Yeah.
The ghetto version.
Aqua's doing a
Well, like the
reunion
first
tour.
one.
It's the old story from black communities. They have this story
Yeah.
that they kind of it's their story.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's the Candyman. But this one,
The
yeah.
Candyman.
But listen,
Why?
this one with Jordan Peele involved, it looks freaking horrendous. It looks horrifying, man.
It's got Yaya.
Yeah, it's
Fuck, I can't remember.
Yeah,
his
yeah.
name.
it looks.
No. He was on
Freaking-
Watchmen, and he was also in Us.
But anything Jordan Peele does, I'm gonna watch. He's a talented guy. I'm gonna watch what he does, and
Black Manta and Aquaman.
It's
Same
it's
guy.
awesome. Speaking of movies, I just watched Midsommar on Amazon Prime, and what the hell, Sweden? Just what the
Fucking
hell?
garbage movie.
It is
too.
trash.
Look, the movie's
film.
terrible. It
Yeah.
is. But see what?
But the pagan, they really nailed it with the actual pagan ritual.
I noticed
Oh, yeah.
that about Amazon. a lot of Amazon stuff is not really good.
Well, it's not just Amazon. This movie was in theaters full blown.
It was
written and directed by the same
guy
people
who
who
did
did Hereditary.
Thank you.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
What I
Which was a great film.
It
Yes.
came across like a documentary, right?
Yeah,
but it
kind
was
of.
filmed like a film, which is I think was off-putting. I think they've done like the handheld documentary type thing. It might have worked better, but it's still. It was
Very bright.
supremely. Well, I think that was part of it.
Yeah.
You talk about, you know,
thank
you're a
you, sir.
cinephile, and you talk about all the different, you know, all the different science of making movies.
absolutely.
Midsommar struck on every level psychologically, just like Hereditary.
Oh, yeah.
I just started
It also
watching
did have that. You started watching Hereditary?
Yeah.
That's a great film.
Yeah,
Like, you have to
it's
do it in
building.
one sitting.
You do, but I fell asleep because I had watched 2 other movies.
Boomer.
So I watched Midsommar. Have you watched Midsommar?
No.
Okay, so Midsommar is based on an actual Swedish pagan ritual that was basically done away with years ago, but they still have some parts of the
Obviously
world.
not. We just watched a documentary about it.
Yeah.
Basically.
But Midsommar is this weird, like it's these communities that they used to have in Sweden, and they have them in other European countries where it's this pagan worship, and there's all types of different pagan worship, and this is a very, and I guess the onset of it is we're in touch with nature, we're all kind of in a community together. It's this kind of
Culty
utopian
shit.
type thing, and the unsettling scene, I'm not going to spoiler alert it, but the
Right.
unsettling scene with the 2 older folks at 72 years old, I knew it was coming. Like, I sensed it coming because the guy said, you know, what happened to 72? And he just kind of pounded his chest and did this. I'm not going to say what happens in the movie, but I will tell you it's very disheartening what happens. And then it's also, hey, see you guys.
See ya. Well, wasn't it kind of odd because one of them wasn't 72? I thought
Well,
because they were married.
yeah, so they were married, and in the ritual, basically it was if one was of age of the 72 and the other one wasn't, they could make the choice
Yeah.
to leave life together.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Gotcha.
kind of that kind of thing. But basically, there's several movies out, and I can't remember. One was called The Triangle, and it's where they go off in like the Arizona desert somewhere, and there's this community of people, right? And there's always
Like
this.
Burning Man.
It's this young guy who decided he was like a comedian and musician. He decided to get away from the world, and he went out and he bought some land, right? And he had a couple friends come with him, and they basically sit out there and they get high a bunch, and
Like
just
Burning
Minnesota.
just like in Midsommar, they took mushrooms when they first showed up there. And
Oh,
it was-
yeah.
So
and
this
it-
is Burning
Burning
Man.
Man.
So
Did they erect a giant wooden man and light him on fire? Fill him
they
with
had
weed?
other type of stuff like that.
That's
So maybe
dope.
this is a prerequisite. Who knows? Like,
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I noticed in a lot of these movies that are about these pagan rituals, they always use drugs or some type of intoxicant to lower your inhibition. So that when the first thing they did when they got there was they arrived in Sweden was the guy that was part of this group handed out mushrooms.
Yeah.
And then wanted everybody to take them. And of course, nobody wants to feel like they're not part of it. And mushrooms are kind of fun to
Yeah, and they're
mess
from
with.
the earth, and it's not dangerous.
Yeah, and so the girl did a tea. She took a tea, and you've seen the movie, right?
The
How
whole
her,
setup
how her
to the
parents and her
movie
family die.
is
yeah.
that's what pulled me into the movie because I'd seen Hereditary before that,
It
and then I
was-
was like, oh, this is gonna be really fucked up, you know?
Well, I saw what was happening, right? But then when they actually went to the crime scene, they showed it.
Yeah.
And then the sister.
Oh God.
Oh my!
Haunting.
Like, it's not even gory.
Are you gonna see the movie?
Guess I'm going to now.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, we
it's
won't
not
spoil
even
what it
gory,
is,
but I will tell you, it is very like off-putting. It's like, oh God, what a terrible like. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it
Well,
anymore.
the plot of the movie from the trailers is this: it's a group of friends.
Careful.
It's a group of friends that's going to go away to
He said from the
Sweden.
trailers.
From the
okay.
trailers, is going to go away on like a summer vacation, like for a week or two with a guy that they met.
It wasn't a summer vacation.
It wasn't. I thought
No.
it was.
It was for a thesis. For the
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The
That's
one- yeah,
right.
that's what it
right.
was.
It was for a thesis for a paper.
And then a couple friends were just going to go along.
They were going to
Yeah.
go, and this one guy, he was going to break up with his girlfriend because she's terrible.
She's not terrible.
Well, she
She's
was.
had a lot of mental issues.
But he was
and
sick
one
of
them
it.
was obvious why she had it.
Anyway, he was sick of it, and then her family unfortunately passes away, and he feels like he can't break up with her, so he has to bring her on this trip. And
Family didn't pass away. You just gave away part of the story.
I mean,
That's not from the
Yeah, it
Previews.
is. It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
Anyway, watch the movie. That's what I say. Midsommar, watch the movie.
Watch
If you
the
can
plot.
find the triangle, it was on. It was some website that I watched. So there's a bunch of different websites you can go to where you can get free movies, where you can watch movies in the theater.
This children's how to pirate shit.
I was about to say, oh, you can talk about Pirate Bay?
Is it back up?
Haven't been for a few years.
Like
I was gonna say.
kingmovies.com and solarmovies.com. There's all these different websites you can go and you can download and you can get watch movies from the theater.
Well, and you guys, that's how Facebook takes down this live stream.
Our next tutorial is how to jailbreak your fire stick.
I'm just saying, there's plenty of places you can go to do this. I didn't expose anything that's not. People know about that stuff. So, Zach, pigeons in Vegas.
Right.
Have you heard about this
With the Trumps?
with the hats?
Yes.
So someone is gluing.
So cute.
Someone is gluing cowboy hats on pigeons in Vegas, and then gluing MAGA hats on them.
First of all, I want to know how they're catching them.
So here's the thing. They've been trying to catch.
Don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, they don't. But they've been trying to find out who's doing it. They think it's an activist group that's trying to kind of make it look bad. But they said they're basically pigeons.
I gotta look this up.
If you feed them, pigeons will get into a big group, and you can literally just kind
You
of
can just touch them.
pull them in. Yeah. Well, all you have to
They don't
do,
care.
all you have to do is get a little super glue on. Beep.
It's free food.
Watch this. Super glue. And you just put it right on the. So anyway,
Oh my
Super boomer.
fucking god.
the pictures.
They're so cute. They are so cute.
It's cowboy hats and MAGA hats on pigeons in
want
Vegas.
one
Have you
so
never seen
bad.
it? It's hilarious. Look, let's see if we can get people to see it. Go online and look up pigeons in Vegas with hats.
It's the best thing ever.
It's not best. They're gluing it on their freaking
I know
heads.
it's horrible.
llamas with hats are
Poor
much
PETA,
better.
Llamas
but
with hats
it's
are much better.
Cute.
Oh, that kills people.
Wow,
I did
that
not
is
know
my
I mean,
least
PETA's
favorite thing to
probably
do.
having a fit, but
Wallface is
that's-
gross.
Why did you eat
Okay,
his hands?
it's hilarious,
I was
and
hungry and
I will
That's
say that
crazy.
if
I had
it's
I had a
it's
remedy in
not
my tummy that only hens could satisfy.
if it's not hurting the pigeons, I'm cool with it. But
we don't support
anyway,
animal
it's
abuse.
freaking hilarious.
but
It is. Go online. You find the pictures on
Okay, I
Google.
don't support animal abuse.
This
but
is on
if I was
was this
ever going to
WSI?
support animal abuse, this would be it.
they don't look upset.
Why don't they just put little
They don't
straps
look
on,
upset.
on the hats? And then
She just said they don't
like
look
party
upset.
hats.
The pigeons don't look upset.
Neither do fighting dogs.
They have no
until they're in a-
soul. They have no
the dogs
soul.
look upset before
Pigeons
then.
don't have souls, so they don't have
Dogs
emotion.
have souls. They look upset.
Animals
before they're
don't
in the-
have souls.
Yes, they do.
I will say dogs and cats do have personalities.
Yes, they do. They have
Pigeons
souls.
Cats
are
don't have souls at all.
Well, I don't. I'm not a cat person.
Cats are government
But have you ever watched
satellites.
cat videos where they torment their owners and tease them and stuff? There's some.
Cats have
There's
fucking
some
Horcruxes.
true.
I don't trust them for shit.
This is a cat owner.
They split their souls 9 ways. I don't trust that shit.
Yeah, my cat's a little.
But you
fucker.
own cats.
My dog, on the
I
other
don't trust
hand,
them.
Cat owners are the worst too, because cat owners look, I acknowledge what you're saying. I realize cats are evil, but I have cats, and so
my cat's a little fucker. But my dog,
Yeah,
on the other hand,
yeah.
I love my dog so much.
dogs
she has
are
a
awesome.
soul.
You're a German Shepherd person.
Yes.
I know. That's one thing I like about you so much. My wife will not let me get a German Shepherd.
Oh.
I know. I've talked about this before. And
She needs to come play with Piper.
okay, you could let her play with whatever. She's just set on it. So till my Shih Tzus die
watch Turner.
or get poisoned. I mean, till my Shih Tzus die, I don't get a German Shepherd.
Or
So,
disappear.
I can't
Or
do
get
that. They're my daughters.
German
Yeah.
Shepherd and
I said poison.
expedite that process a little bit.
Well, but here's my thing.
They ran away.
I
out
bought
of
the
the-
dogs. Listen, I bought the dogs for my twins. I have twin daughters, and we go to buy the dogs, and the lady there, we're going to buy one dog, and the lady goes, "I'll give you 2 for 1 for $150." I was like, "Okay, all right." So I bought the dog 6 years ago, and I can't get rid of them because they're my daughter's dogs. They love them, so it's kind of the way it is. So I'll get a German Shepherd eventually. It might be not until I get to Montana with a greenhouse and.
Why don't you
drugs.
just go get the dog, bring
You
the dog
probably
home?
won't.
That's not how
You won't live
marriages
that
work.
long.
Yeah, it is, because
No.
if she did it, you would have to deal with it.
I would deal with it because
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love my wife.
Non-boomer thing he's saying right now.
Yeah.
That's not how marriages work.
No, marriages don't look. If you want to be happy,
I'm
in
a
your
goddamn
marriage,
paterfamilias.
listen, you can do some things like you can get away with a few things. Like
Better to
I brought
ask
home a rabbit for my
forgiveness.
daughters.
Yeah.
It is. It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. But this is one of the sticking points with her that I know if I violate this, it's going to be a major issue. So you got to pick your fights. You got to pick your fights.
I mean,
I know.
all
How
right.
can she say no to the head tilt?
yeah,
Dude, I
adorable
know,
ass
man.
dog.
Switch topics.
I send her videos all the time. It has no effect on her. She's heartless when it comes to that, man.
It's the head too.
I know. It's a German Shepherd's the best dog ever.
Before we move on to the next topic, I have something I wanted to bring up real quick. Have you guys seen the thing about the evangelical guy who's saying that women shouldn't go to college because they shouldn't be as smart as their husbands?
What?
Seen this guy? Yeah,
I'm
it's
smarter than my
Who is this
husband
freaking
already.
idiot?
Who
Is that
this
Zach
shit up
saying
now?
that, or who is that? Zach, I would see Zach saying that like to aggravate somebody, like
Oh,
to
sure, I'll piss people off. Then.
purposely say it, but to actually mean
He
it.
probably condemns gays, but is found like in a Tijuanan like ladyboy,
Yeah, getting it from
fucking-
behind Ladyboy.
like gay prostitute shit.
See, I wonder if guys like that say it just so people pay attention to them. That's what I'm wondering. Like, I need money for my ministry, so I'm going to say something so outlandishly, ridiculously stupid that women shouldn't be doing this, knowing that's going to get me attention. You know, it's like the Westboro Baptist
I hate those fuckers.
Well, they're terrible for two reasons. One is they're just horrible, and they're the worst kind of evil because they take Christianity and God's word and they turn it
They
into
are
this.
so fucking stupid.
It's this guy.
They're almost like it's almost funny
Bishop
how
Edom
dumb they
Macedo
are.
Made daughters through college so they would be smarter than their husbands, and he's
Oh
like,
wait, let me call
Wait,
him out.
Bishop?
I'm going to call him out. Billionaire.
of course.
First of all, if your minister
billionaire.
or your evangelical is a billionaire, you got the wrong guy.
Right.
wrong
Sorry.
profession.
Billionaire.
Yeah, billionaire Bishop Eder Macedo
I was expecting Joel.
made daughters skip college so they wouldn't be as smarter than their husbands.
And he like
He's always from Brazil. You know,
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
that does explain a lot. In
That's
some
their
cultures,
culture.
it's still.
I think they have good literacy program there too.
We're gonna get into that.
More than
don't worry.
likely.
All right. Yeah.
Just
The
I just
Universal
thought-
Church of the Kingdom of God, largest and strongest neo-Pentecostal churches. Oh God, that guy's.
That's all
It's
good.
universal unless you're a woman.
That guy's close to
exploding on
carrying a
Facebook
gun in
right now,
church.
yeah.
That guy's
Get
close to
that
carrying a
shit
gun
outta
in
here.
church. All right. You're watching Session Stream Live from Shakers Bar downtown Cape. I'm glad to have Regina here. Thank you, Regina. You're keeping everything crazy
Fuck
and
the
wacky.
rest of
You're welcome.
I'm always happy to have you guys here. She's a new guest. Stop
I'm
being
not
so
a new
sensitive,
guest.
you bitch.
I am not a new
You
guest.
haven't been back for a while.
No, but I'm not new.
Yeah, but he won't tell
Okay,
you.
a
Stop being
returning
so
guest.
sensitive,
Thank you.
bitch.
No, you're being overly sensitive tonight. And I know why.
I'm being overly
Because your right testicle shrunk up the minute you said you were going to apply at another bar. That's what happened.
And what is he again? Disloyal bitch?
Yeah, disloyal.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, so
the incomparable Regina and the
Disloyal bitch.
I've said all kinds of complimentary things about you guys, and I'm done with all that shit, all right? I'm done with it.
I now get why you put him by the pane glass so you can easily kick his fat ass out through there.
No, I'm not kicking it out. Zach knows I love him.
Too much money.
Zach knows I love him. We're honest
Oh,
with
that's
each other.
candy glass. It's not real.
That's the thing about Zach. That's the thing about me and Zach. We're super honest with, like, Zach will say if he doesn't like something about me, he'll say it. And I say stuff about him. It doesn't mean shit. It's because we're honest men. That's what men do. Women do it too, actually, right? When you are
Very aggressive.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. She said it. But I'm saying, I appreciate when, like, that's with my wife. My wife is honest with me if I like it or not. So I appreciate honesty, man.
I'll be
Zach's,
honest.
if
I
nothing
ain't no
else,
woman yet who can come to you and tell you what she thinks.
you could be lopsided with your penis. You could have a crook in it.
Lopsided with your
You
penis.
could have
who have you been talking to?
you could have sex with ghosts, which I hope happens.
I really thought he was going to say goats.
But at the same time,
ghost hand.
I know you're honest.
Sit on, took
I
his
know
hand.
you're honest, except when you lie to me about Tuesday. All right.
It's alright. It's okay for everybody else to struggle with mental disorders except a disloyal bitch.
All you have to do is say, "Hey, Eric, I need a little time off, bro.
Well, not feeling people.
Having a little. I'm not feeling peoply. There you go. How about you let me know instead of you just instead of you saying I'm moving.
I packed something that night.
Yeah,
You did. You were trying to unpack. You were trying to unpack something. Just say to me, "Hey, I need a little time." Like, you do it to help out, so you don't owe me anything. You can just step away whenever you want. So all you got to do is say, "Dude, I need the night off." Yeah, you don't have to like mislead me.
You better lie to me.
This is
will
turning
always
into
lie to you.
Oprah and shit, where we're like doing
I say
confessions.
let's
everybody
cancel
take
the
other
fucking
chairs.
show.
Now what is this?
No, let's cancel the fucking show. Let's get this shit out,
Yeah,
man.
we're done.
Now
We're
what
done.
he's trying to say
You get a
is
counseling
that
session.
you
You
need,
get a counseling
Yeah.
session.
you need
No.
to just let him know.
I had to look. If I listen, if
God,
I did
Dr.
something,
Phil
if I
Hill
did something
now.
like that, where you're like, if you had a bar
I
and
know
I
who that
played,
was.
you would
I'll
give
be
me all
back on
kinds of
impressions
shit, and you know it,
And then damn
and you
The
know
thing
it.
is, though,
God damn it.
I have offered for months. Whatever you need, you holler at me.
And that's not the same as saying, dude, I need some scratch. I need some money. It's not the same. It's not. A lot of people come here and say, hey, man, you need any help, let me know. That's not the same as saying,
Am I a lot of
hey,
people?
You're much more than a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah, so you should come.
You should
Listen,
I
should instantly know that by you saying,
I'm like, hey, whatever you need,
by
I
you
got
saying
you,
to me, by you saying to me, hey, if you need any help, let me know. I'm supposed to know that you need money from that? No, I need a survey. I get it. You needed money, but you got to say, hey,
potato salad.
I need. Look, I got screwed over at my work by something. We're not going to go into the details. Right. But I'm short on funds. I need a little funds. The few times that I did give you some cash to help out on like a Tuesday night, and you're like, no, just give me bar tab. You're like waving off my money.
We had a deal worked out where my tab would take care of. That was our deal. So why would you take care of my tab and then pay me on top?
Because
that's me taking advantage.
You're not taking advantage. If I offer, you should take it. But by that same standard, I said at the same time, if you need, let me know, and you never did. You never came out and said, I just have a problem telling friends, and I'm like, who are you going to tell, strangers?
I don't tell them either.
I get where you're coming from. Completely understand.
I do not put my financial burdens on my friends.
Somebody else.
You're not putting it on me, dude.
The only reason why I applied at Hot Shots is they posted a fucking ad 3 days ago. I happened to see it today.
You're just not gonna like it, man.
If you need a side job, dude, I can help you out. How much can you fit in your mouth?
Yeah. Speaking of that,
about that much. I think we're good.
Anyway, I get why you need a job. I get that. Yeah. That's not the problem. I'm giving you shit about the job. I don't care about that. That's just competitor going to work. I'm fine with that.
Sure.
My thing is it was more about me feeling like you didn't come to me when you needed me. And you didn't like being a friend. I told you
out it wasn't anything like that.
And then I said to you, I said, this is why I don't get close to people, because I put myself out there to try to help people, and they don't ask for help. Like, I'm a friend. If you need help from me, you got to come talk to me and say, hey, Eric, you're my friend. Who do you? Here's the thing. This is the thing about the world. Who do you ask help from? Anybody? Well, that's your freaking problem, man. Listen.
No, I told you flat out. It's a character flaw.
Pride is a hard thing.
No, but here's the thing, and this we talk about this on the show, dude.
Fucking men.
The thing is, look, here's the thing. This we talk about this on the show with mental health and stuff, dude. This is the problem with people is they get in this mindset of I don't want to bother my friends with this stuff. I don't want to put my burdens on them.
She said I have to get 30,000 people before I ever help myself.
But yet you tell me about all of your medical stuff, and I'm part of that with you, right? I'm experiencing that because I'm your friend, right?
Yeah.
So to me, money is paper. It means nothing. So if my friend who tells me about all of their things that's going on that I'm there for comes and goes, man, can I get $20? It doesn't mean all it is you trying to make it through, dude. That's all it is.
Just don't ask him for 89 cents. Please.
Fuck.
Anyway, I don't loan money. I give money. Everybody knows this.
No, I give, you should never loan out anything you expect to get back.
Speaking of dummies, he cut his pinky tip off.
Doesn't make me stupid. It's an accident. It happens.
It's dumb. It's dumb. Listen. No, it does look way better. But no, when I mean dumb, because what were you doing when you did it?
I was peeling a fucking orange.
And what did you do?
Okay, well, let me say this.
Were you using it properly?
I worked at Mary Jane since June of last year, and I've never so much as nicked my finger on this fucking thing.
Okay, so it'll never happen then.
I'm just saying, mistakes happen. I saved it all up for one event.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
All right.
So and what I love is the fact that he says, does anybody want to see it? Nobody says anything, and he posts a picture anyway.
Lauren did. Lauren said she wanted to see it. I'll fucking bring it up right now.
Lauren is demented, though.
Well,
like, she likes that stuff.
She said she wanted to see it after you posted it, though.
Yeah,
I'll go back right now and look at this shit.
I'm pretty sure. No, it was after.
Yeah, it was after. All right.
Back right now. Here we go.
So, as we're moving on with our topics.
I'll look this up.
I'm going to need a drink before we get into that.
You go ahead.
So I'm just saying.
We are. I wouldn't bring something up that
Just so you know, it's on your tab, not his.
Thanks. I'm glad.
Unless you want to perform some kind of a...
That's nasty. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wait. No, let's go back.
Read the blue one.
So I cut the tip. This is after you said it.
I said this.
Yeah, you want to see it. It's super nasty.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think she saw the picture and then said that's nasty. Why would she say that's nasty?
Before I sent it.
How would she know it's nasty if she hadn't seen it?
Because I cut a third of my pinky off.
You see what I said? I will need you and Bailey on a sort of date night thing. I didn't say anything about. I don't want to see your shit. That's gross, man. Anyway,
it's fine.
But both of them.
There was two.
Yeah, there's two. So I don't know if you guys know about this, but you know what First Amendment auditors are?
No.
Okay. First Amendment auditors, for people that don't know, a lot of people don't know, but they're kind of a rage on YouTube and Facebook. But First Amendment auditors, basically, they go to outside of government buildings and police stations and places where you typically normally wouldn't see people videoing and taking pictures. And they either will open carry their gun based on the law. They're basically what they're doing is they are auditing First Amendment rights. So the First Amendment right to the press, First Amendment right to speech, all of that, right? But they will go places to see how people will act, right? So the reason I brought this up is I watch a couple of guys on. There's one called Auditing America. It's one of I think it's the most popular one. And basically there's a team of guys and girls that go out and they go to inside courthouses with cameras. They go inside police stations. They know the laws from the states that they're in. I think they're up in Maryland. But they go to courthouses, they go to post offices, they go to like government complexes, and they take pictures and video, and then they wait to be confronted.
Or would they just like walk around outside with their guns on? Yes, I have seen this.
So here's the thing.
Stupid.
Well, I know, but here's
They're
two.
just
But here's two sides to it. All right. I also agree. Why do that? Why make it a big deal? But they're also the other side of it is they're trying to show are our rights absolute? Right. Is First Amendment in this country actually a First Amendment right? Do we have absolute right to free speech and press? And they're showing that we don't. That there are limitations to it. That bye Abby, bye girls. Megan. I forgot. They don't come in very much anymore. But I see two sides to it, and this is what I always want to do with everything. I want to see both sides to it. So the First Amendment auditors, I get why they do it. They do it a little. Some of them are very aggressive, and some of them are very in your face about it.
Just because you can do something, should you?
And that's the other side of the argument, where it's kind of like,
what are you really doing? Are you feeling threatened? Are you doing this because you are exercising your right, or are you doing this because you're literally like egging it on to try to get somebody? You know what I mean? Like,
and that's what cops say to him. It's like, look, I get what you're trying to do, but why make this into a a confrontation? And their whole point is we're trying to show that in this country that it's really not a First Amendment right, that it's not a right. And they always talk about when they could be arrested or they can be investigated, and so there's two sides to it. If you are a constitutionalist, if you're an absolutist to the Constitution, what they're doing is you should celebrate it. If you're someone that understands that we need to try to not have conflict with each other and we need to try to work together to make this work, there's a way to get a point across without being like that and risking your freedom, and then also risking other issues, and I do get the open carry thing, man. I do get the Second Amendment thing with the open carry. If you're in a state that's open carry and you're open carrying in public, it's not against the law. But it's also not against the law for a cop to come go, hey,
why are you just
by the way,
on the street
why are you walking on a street corner with a gun on your hip?
Yeah.
And then that's where the cop and the individual should have a conversation, and both sides need to be willing to understand. The First Amendment, Second Amendment auditors need to understand. Look, they're going to ask some basic questions. It doesn't mean you have to answer the question, but at the same time, it means you need to be understanding that some people aren't cool with that. And I'll be honest with you, if my daughters know I carry a gun. I have a gun in my car with me. I have it, and I keep it very safely away from them. But they know I'm a Second Amendment guy. They also know I'm very safe with it. I'm trained with it, and they know not to go near it. And they know not, it's a safety issue. But I will say that I also teach them all about that stuff, and they also know that it's legal to do this, it's legal to do that. And so, what are these guys doing?
We're measuring your stage.
Do you know who they are?
I don't know who they are.
It's Alex.
Oh, is that Bedinger?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know who he was. Okay, cool. Alex can measure my stage anytime he wants.
He's just doing it for a drum show.
Hey! I was like, who's measuring stage? I'm like, it's Alex. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So, any opinion on the First Amendment, Second Amendment auditors that go around and kind of
I think it's
poke the bear.
Poking the exactly.
Yeah. What do you mean by
Like,
auditors? I missed part
So
of it.
these guys go to like
fancy
outside
word for
post
being a
offices and outside of police stations, and they just walk back and forth with a gun on their shoulder.
They're waiting to be
like I'm
confronted.
exercising my right to
Oh,
hold
okay.
a gun in the
Oh,
state.
okay, cool.
So it was like kind of
Yeah.
like asking somebody to come and say something to them, kind of shit.
Okay.
It's just,
And
Like I
so-
see in Texas sometimes, like people walking
Yeah,
up and
you
down the
see
street
it.
with
You
ARs.
see it in Florida. Like in Florida, for example, they have this weird
That's
law that
just
if you're
Texas.
going fishing, you can open carry a gun. It's a really weird law, but they do. So these guys, these auditors, will get a fishing pole and walk down a freaking highway with a fishing pole and a gun on their hip, and they will wait to be stopped by police. So my whole thing about it is there's two sides of the argument. The police have a point and the auditors have a point. We need to have the absolute right, and the police aren't taking their rights away. They just want to make sure that these guys aren't out shooting people. So
I mean, Eric Harris was a Second Amendment auditor.
So
Well-
is Dylan Klebold, but guess what happened to them?
no, okay. So Dylan Klebold was from Columbine.
Those are the Columbine
Those
shooters.
are the Columbine shooters.
Yeah, those are the Columbine shooters. And you're talking about a massive. You guys are assholes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's way different. Way different.
I see where he was going. He started it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Blame him. Yeah. Big
will.
gutless.
I
Big
will.
gutless.
Way to be a
guys,
follower.
grow up.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a Bernie
Yeah.
supporter.
We
I
are
am a
so
follower.
mature on this show. How dare you, Regina? You're the most mature person on this show.
God,
How's that feel? All right. I'm going to ask you about one. How
That's coming
is
from a boomer.
how our voter? I'm not a boomer. Look it up.
Fucker.
I'm not a
You're
boomer.
just like 5 years off. So
That's
we're just
way
we're
different.
Going to round
It's almost
it,
a
you're
whole nother
boomer.
generation.
Cody, I
No,
want you
he's
to lean in
right.
and whisper in his ear, okay, boomer.
So what? So here's my thing. Since you're saying that, right? We have just a little bit of smidge of time here. What do you mean by what does that mean? Because right now it's being used as an insult.
Yeah,
So
because
what does it mean?
it literally means that we want to
All right,
fuck with you, and that's
hold
it.
on. Let's
No.
get some
Yeah, let's-
You're an old
Old
fucker.
fuck.
So boomer means an old guy,
You're an old fucker.
Out of
Okay.
out of touch with
which means hey, what's up? Tomo Zijo.
So much shisha.
I have you on the show.
1 week from now.
Talk about the show.
1 week from now.
Yeah, next Thursday.
Their show.
Yeah, we're talking about March 6th.
Oh,
It's the well, if you weren't applying at other bars, you'd know.
is it the Wings reunion tour?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
No,
Love
it's
taking
Scatterguns,
down to the street.
Scatterguns, Guy Morgan, and Isabella, and they added what's his name, Logan Chapman to it. So that'll be a good show, March 6th.
It's fucking.
I will tell you guys
Yeah,
that
he's super talented.
the show that we have on March 19th here is my 30th birthday show.
Oh yeah,
Okay, half boomer.
oh cool.
I will be finally a half boomer,
We also have, awesome glow
What's a
karaoke
half
on the
boomer now?
11th.
What is this?
middle aged.
You're just making shit up.
He's halfway up the hill.
Yeah,
Is that 30 or what is it?
yeah, it's 30.
Oh, 30's half boomer?
Yeah, dirty 30, buddy. 30,
You guys are stupid. You legitimately are stupid. All right, question to Regina.
What?
How are voter ID laws voter suppression? Are voter IDs laws
What she's
in your
trying
view?
to say is,
are-
so I felt like
are-
it's.
no,
you're
I
trying
know,
to
I know,
explain.
I know where you land politically on most things, but is asking someone for an ID to vote voter suppression?
No.
Okay. So why is it not?
I just want to know whether or not you're a legal citizen
Okay.
in this country.
And why is it important to be a legal citizen when you vote?
Because you have to be a legal citizen to
Well, for Bernie, it's definitely not.
That
I don't-
just
I don't
means
get
you're.
He's getting all freaking. He's donating to him, so he's going to be all sensitive about the dude now. 89-year-old or 79. That's a boomer.
Was it a kidney or?
That's
Most definitely a boomer. Most
He's
definitely.
77, right?
Yeah.
He's 77.
He's
His
79.
4-year
Look it
plan
up.
is to survive.
He's 79. Look it up.
Only
Dude, Trump is not far
technical
behind him,
citizens
bud.
should be able to vote for the leader of the company.
Right.
Now, would you say?
Country.
Well, kind of.
Well, it is a
You're not
company
wrong.
right
That was a good slip.
now. It is a
But the point is, so
Meets in the middle.
what they're saying, said he'll be. Oh, they said 70. If he got elected, he'd be 79. He'd be the oldest president ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question, and this is what I want everybody to understand. What they're claiming, the Democratic Party is claiming,
I know
is
they're
that
claiming.
voter suppression is used against minorities because of what reason? Now, I know where you're leaning.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's a legitimate reason.
Okay,
Why is
I
it
no, but
illegal?
listen, I want to know what he has to say. The reason I did this is because I do want to understand how it is that it's considered voter suppression. So go ahead.
Because people that are like poor don't have the means to go out and get that thing.
Really?
Sometimes, yeah.
Have you seen
it's free?
It is free. But what I'm saying is they don't have the means. For example,
don't you think that's a little racist, though?
No.
It is little.
It is free to get an ID for voter only.
It's a little racist.
It's
No, it is.
saying-
You're saying that you don't have the means. Why don't they have the means?
he's saying the
I'm
poor
saying the
people,
poor
it
people.
wouldn't be called racist. It
Poor
would be-
people.
No, I'm saying it's voter suppression.
No, we're talking about minorities, and you're
So,
saying poor
yeah,
people.
sure we can. Poor people.
Are you saying
sometimes
all
also-
minorities are poor?
I said poorer people.
He said
You're falling into
poorer
the Biden
people.
trap. He's doing the rich kids and the black kids. And
For fuck's
the,
sake.
You also
He
kiss
said
your granddaughter
poorer
on the
people.
mouth?
He didn't say anything
I don't have
about
one.
race, so it wouldn't be racist.
But if I
It would
did-
be
I would lean over
he's
and be
being
like,
what? Classist?
Hail Hydra.
At the very least,
There
at the
he is.
very
He's
least, you're being
classist.
classist with that statement. So
Be
do
that
you
as it
understand-
may,
We
be
have
that as
this
it
many
may.
ist is fucking bullshit.
But do you understand? Listen,
But what I'm saying is that if little old lady, 90-year-old lady, doesn't have a valid driver's license because she can't get out of her house because she's an invalid,
Okay, she can
and she
vote-
wants
she can
to
vote
go and
absentee.
vote,
She can vote
and she
absentee.
wants to vote,
She can
and
vote
then
absentee.
but she still has to prove who she is.
Now, absentee is proving because you have a post box.
But
It's-
yeah.
You have to just show that you
Yeah.
have a legal residence.
yeah, that's all that is.
I vote
Okay, well-
absentee because I am disabled.
You just show that
right,
you have a
right.
utility bill.
Then that needs to be
But
more
see, yeah,
pushed.
right.
We
And-
need to say that
okay,
this is an option.
But that doesn't mean it's voter suppression to say you need to have an ID to vote. How is it suppression?
Voters
It is-
should educate themselves more. Is
Thank
the
you.
problem.
That's part of the process.
Well, what about if you lost your license? What
What
about
about
if
it?
what if it was confiscated or something?
Why would it
Mine
be
was.
confiscated?
I don't know. Maybe you broke the
Because you-
law. Maybe you fucked up.
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
you don't have a license, say
Sure, maybe-
DWI
maybe-
or whatever,
let's say
right?
sure, why not?
So you can go to
go
the
get a
you can
government
go to the
issued ID.
DMV, you can go to the DMV, and you can
Completely
say, I
free
don't have
for
a
voting.
license, I need to vote. They say, okay, you can get this state ID to vote. That's all you have to do.
Well, as long as you're registered to vote, you should have a voter ID card, and that counts anyway. So
Right. So this goes back to the point: is who is it suppressing? How is it voter suppression, and who is it suppressing?
why are you asking me?
I'm asking you because I know where she's at, and you said it is in a way. You said it is kind
I
of.
say that it could be
So I'm asking,
Yeah, and
who
more
is it
inter-
suppressing?
black people and minorities.
Why is it suppressing black people?
It's to black people.
The what?
So let's just say minorities. Let's just
Yeah,
let's just say
minorities.
How is it suppressing minorities?
Because a lot of people don't drive.
So because they don't
They
drive,
don't have driver's license.
What
They
does
don't
that have
have.
to do with voting?
They can vote from home, absentee ballot.
Yeah.
Okay, tell them that then.
So it's not voter
So
suppression.
it's voter education. They need to
Yeah.
educate
The-
themselves
and
more.
so I will say this. They're when you're talking about suppression, because one side is using it as a political ploy to say that Republicans don't care. They want to keep people out of the voter booth. It's not true at all.
Well, it's just an extension of Jim Crow law, probably.
Well, Jim Crow was specifically towards African Americans. It's towards black people.
I'm just saying, like it's
I know, but
probably
we're talking about
they're probably
minorities
trying to
voting.
use that as like a weapon.
They
That's what
are.
I'm saying.
Speaking of Bloomberg, there's another ad from Bloomberg.
Fuck
but,
him.
But here's my thing: voter ID laws are not voter suppression laws. They're not the same thing. They're not established to suppress anybody. They're being used that way, but they're not. What voter ID laws are, and this is flat out, and anybody can jump in. Voter ID laws are is exactly what Regina said. Is if you are in this country and you are a citizen in this country, right?
It's a way
One
to
of your
suppress the
rights.
Clintons.
One of your rights by being a citizen is you get to vote. Doesn't matter who the hell you are.
Unless you're a felon.
Unless you're a
but
felon.
that's-
That is
Well,
one of your
which-
rights that is taken away as a felon.
We should get rid of that.
No, we should not get rid of
should
it. What we
not,
should
no.
do is it should be a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, if you're
I agree that
nonviolent
there's certain
offender,
felons,
you
but
should
there
take
are
that
certain
away.
people, like for example, the Boston bomber.
Oh fuck
You
him!
should
Nobody cares.
not get to vote.
That's what I'm saying. You can't get rid of it.
Fuck
you gotta,
that guy.
I think there
I'm
should
not
be,
saying
so
that-
I think there should be exceptions to being able to vote, not exceptions to being
You should
allowed to
have
vote.
to
Does that
be
make
able
sense?
to, like,
if you're a very
apply
violent
for-
person, exactly.
Your
Right.
voter ID
If you're in
registration.
prison,
Now,
Just because
yeah,
you're a
if
felon
you're
doesn't
in
mean you
prison,
shouldn't be
I
able
don't
to
think you
vote.
should be able to vote.
It's
If
right.
you're out,
if you're
yeah,
out,
why not?
I think there should be a process that you can apply to have your voter rights reestablished. I do agree with that, and I think there's actually, and people don't like this, but President Trump has actually said that.
Yep.
He's actually said in a speech, I'm supporting an initiative because he's the only president in the history that's done the First Step program, which is
You're going to start drinking your scotch through a straw.
Yeah.
No, I
This
hate
shit's about
straws.
the
real.
First Step program. So my whole thing about it is the reason I brought this up is when people throw these words out like voter suppression and all these little political little hot points, I want people to understand that might not know
Can I
what.
throw a political hot point out?
You sure can.
Oligarchy.
Oligarchy.
The biggest thing is people are not educated.
That's the point. That is exactly the point. And that's why talking to him, because he knows a little bit about it, talking to you because you know a little bit about it, talking to us, this is what the whole reason that I did this show was so.
God, I was getting thirsty.
So
Dude, it's been too long since that statement has been said.
so we could all try to educate ourselves. I know through doing research for the show and looking into things that I educate myself better, and so
Then us, or?
no, better for myself.
okay.
Yeah. No, never. You guys can talk off the top of your head sometimes. I got to have a little script. But the whole point is I want people to understand that you need to educate yourself with everything, with every
I'm going to sit
candidate.
up and I'm going to talk about
We're
my
coming
ass.
up to a very important time in this country's existence.
Yes,
we're coming
re-electing
up to-
Congress.
We're coming up to an election cycle, right? And whatever side of the aisle you fall on, you need to educate yourself on not only the candidates, but what they stand for, what they're talking about, and what they want to have happen for this country. So speaking of that, we're going to move into the next thing. And I'm bringing this up specifically because I want to talk to Brandon about it because I know.
Can I say something before we get into
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
The one thing that I want to say is that the most important, and a lot of people don't really think this way, but I think it is important to say, is that the most important election in this country is not for president. It's for your local, state, and your state representatives and your senators and your local government. These are the people that are going to have the most impact on you your entire life. It doesn't matter if Donald Trump is president, or if Bill Clinton's president, or if Hillary Clinton's president, or if Bernie Sanders, or
Donald Trump's not personally vetoing
it doesn't
the county
matter.
laws that these people are making.
Well,
that are gonna
here's the
affect
thing.
It
them
is
more than anything
important to
else.
do research on those candidates as well, because they're going to be the ones that you're going to have to write to when you're pissed off about something.
Randy, that's a very good point. The problem is it used to be that way.
And it should still be.
I know, but the problem is now we're nationalized. Now it's all federal. It's all national.
Instant
That's the
gratification.
problem.
So we're on social media.
Yeah.
We can all talk to each
Now-
other at the same time.
But I agree with you. You're exactly right.
Needs to be
what needs to happen
more-
is we need to return to what we used to be, which was voting on a local level to form our local government, which affects us directly through our city streets, through our police, through our schools. That's the most important thing. That's why I like having Renita Green on here. Your city council, that makes your city rules. So if something goes wrong in your city, you can go directly to your council member and say, hey, I don't like this, or hey, thank you for this. But you're exactly right. The problem in this country, and I'm glad you brought this up, is we're not regionalized anymore. We're not local anymore. We're national now. Everything has become, and as much as it's part of it has to do with Trump and the way he does things. Part of it had to do with Obama, but we are now a social media election cycle. It's all about what's what's in the ether.
It's just too far removed, is all I'm
It
saying.
is, and you're exactly right. And this is why I wanted to bring this up: is we've got to bring elections and politics back home where it matters. And like when we had Holly Rader on here, and she talked about stuff she was doing for the state. And she just registered for Senate, by the way. So she did that. So that's rolling. And she's doing all kinds of these initiatives. It's very important because she's a Second Amendment, pro-Second Amendment, conservative candidate. I line up with her on a lot of things. But you're exactly right. Educate yourself. If you have a state representative running for office, like for example, Barry Hovis, I would have never elected.
He was my my school officer when I was in school.
And the problem is I never would have elected him because I knew him on a kind of conversational level. He's a moron. Sorry, he is. And he goes one of his first speeches he gives in the State House is he talks about rape and how it basically was I'm not going to say the woman's fault, but basically led that direction where
Jesus.
it kind of
Look at what
opened
she's
up.
wearing.
Yeah.
Christ.
No, it was kind of like that.
No, it was.
Yeah.
It was complete fucking garbage.
Yeah, and that's the thing about him is I knew that when he was running, I was telling people, and this is the thing. There's nothing wrong with saying people don't elect that guy, don't vote for him. But I was telling people, don't vote for that guy. You guys have no idea what you're getting. This guy says whatever he needs to say. He's a political hack, and he's going to get in office and he's going to say something stupid. His first speech in front of the House
was something stupid.
Was one of the most stupid things that you could ever say in front of a very active legislature. Is rape this and this. You just look.
Victim shaming.
First of all, gentlemen, stay off unless you're invited into the topic.
Yeah.
You know,
Shut the fuck up.
Never. First of all, never talk to a woman about something unless you've been invited to do it, and don't ever assume that she wants to hear what the hell you have to say.
Amen.
And so my thing about it is we've talked about stuff on this.
You're going to hear it anyway.
Well, I know, but here's the thing. You're on the show, so you're kind of invited to talk about it, and then women that come, like Regina's on the show, she's kind of saying, okay, we're going to talk about some stuff. But what I'm saying is don't run around giving speeches about what you want to do for this and that unless you're talking to that person. Unless I'm talking to a female about what's important to her, I need to understand what's going on.
I want to say something to you.
Yes.
Before moving on, I absolutely applaud what you're doing, who you're backing, your stand.
Oh,
I
sure.
applaud you for taking a stand.
Thank you.
Myself,
but I'm going to sit and do it. But thanks.
well, of course. I mean, look at yourself. But
thank you.
I myself, I have donated to campaigns. I have campaigned for campaigns.
Yeah.
You stand to your beliefs, and I respect it. Now, this is not going to stop me from berating the fuck out of you.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
In just a minute, yeah, the floodgate's going to be open. But I wanted to preface this. So let me say what I'm going to say, and then we're going to preface this by saying, I respect what you're doing. I respect the fact, and that's what's great about this country.
Thank you.
You are standing. You've selected a candidate that you're riding with.
Well, it still remains to be seen how it pans out.
Don't get wishy-washy, you donator. You donated to the freaking guy.
Well, yeah, I want to see how it goes.
Why would you donate to somebody to see how it goes?
Because sometimes you just never watch the world burn.
How much did you donate?
Way more than I'd be comfortable admitting.
About 3
Wow.
I think the FEC says that the maximum you can give is like $2,300.
I stand corrected. You're a cunt.
Wait, no. You want a freaking autograph.
I didn't want a fucking picture. I didn't donate.
You want the Christmas
You want a picture. You want him to come up and go.
He wants
Brandon,
meet and greet.
No.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Yeah, you want an invite is what you want.
Mr. Arwen, I really appreciate you donating to my campaign.
So before we get into it, before we're going to be honest, and we're going to let the floodgates go.
God.
Trump's approval ratings are at 46.3% according to Real Clear Politics. All right, whether you believe in the poll or not, that's where it's at. Home sales just reached a 12-year high, and Brandon is donating and voting for Sanders.
Oh God.
Sanders called
Was
this.
that from the Huffington Post?
It was. It was.
People, you guys realize I'm voting for Sanders too, right?
Well, no, we're going to tell you.
But it's easy to tear into you.
But yeah, we already know that. Everybody knows it. So Sanders called this country.
This is like your last election cycle's
he's very blasé. He's plain about it. He's fine with it. He's good.
Oh Jesus.
He's willing to. He's also willing to defend why he's doing it.
I just
so I'm
know
all
who
good.
shins to kick.
Yeah.
If this
So
goes
Sanders. Here's my issue. Right before we get into.
We already know that you don't like socialism.
No.
I get that.
Let me get more detail because that's not enough. Right. It's not enough to say I don't like socialism.
Okay.
Okay. Because you. I don't like everything about conservatism. I don't like everything about besides.
I also don't like socialism.
So Sanders called this country racist.
When?
He's in a couple speeches. I can pull them up on YouTube, but he said them in a couple of debates first. The country's racist. We have a systemic racism problem in this country.
Oh yeah, I've heard them say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there racism in the country? Yes, but the country's not racist. That's stupid. And yet record numbers of people.
Says the guy calling people chinks.
I didn't call anybody chink, you silly bastard. That's what you did. You referenced race and creed in that, and I was talking about a chink in the armor. See? I love it. As much as you don't want to say it, you've got freaking leftist liberal tendencies, you bastard.
We all know that.
Yes, you do. You've got a little bit of that in. That's the libertarian in you. You got a little bit of that.
2016,
Tony and I get drunk a lot, so I get a little bit of
Let's rub it off.
In 2016, Zach used to jerk it to Jill Stein.
Stop touching his crotch.
still jerk it to Jill Stein.
Yeah, Jill Stein's sexy, man. Jill Stein was hot. Anyway.
On that note, I'll be right back.
So Sanders called this country racist, And yet record numbers of people still want to come live here, right? Mm-hmm. We are all so racist, and yet we have record low minority unemployment. Racists don't want minorities to succeed and do well. I mean, I think we can all agree, right? Racists don't want minorities to do well. They want them to subsist. They don't want them to read. They don't want them to go to college. They don't want them to work. They don't want them to make money. They don't want them to have successful family life. They want them to have nothing. So, but yet,
I would think that's true. I'm not a racist, so I wouldn't be able to tell what they want.
But you know history, and you know what racists do. You've seen what racists do.
Yeah, they like to keep people down. Sure.
Right. The definition of racism is to, on the basis of race,
discriminate.
Is to discriminate or to put down or to not be equal with because of the race, right?
I wish we could.
Well, I'm distorted a lot because I'm very loud.
I was about to say, I think it's just because we're a bunch of loud fucks.
Yeah, we are. So, if we are a racist country, how are we racist, right? And when you say, listen, this is my problem with Sanders and most of the Democrats, okay? And we're going to get into why you support him in a minute, but here's my problem. My problem with statements like this country's racist is meant to get people to want to vote for you. And my problem with that is that's called pandering.
Well, all politicians pander.
You think Trump panders? Trump's a terrible panderer.
He
just talks about how good he is. I did this, and I did that, and I did this.
I will say this about the Democratic Party as a whole.
He panders to patriotism.
The Democratic Party as a whole is a party of panderers. Without minority voters, they have no base. Okay,
they have a very weak base.
Therefore, they have to pander those voters, or else no one turns out to vote and they lose elections. Look at 2016 as an example.
Right. So
they didn't have enough voter turnout, so they lost.
So my question to you is: do you actually think that?
Oh, they were winning until we got off work.
But listen, do you actually think? Here's my thing. Speaking of that, do you actually think that the minority vote?
There's not that much weight? Yes, I do.
No. That's not what I was going to say. You're assuming, you're putting words.
Sorry.
That's another liberal policy, too. They always assume what I'm going to say. No. If what you're saying is true and they rely on that voter base, like that minority voter base, which I agree with you, that's always been in their category. Do you actually think that black Americans, African Americans, black Americans, when they go to the voter booth now, since all of this has been brought to the forefront, now we're talking about it, do you think that actually works with them now? Do you think that Bernie Sanders saying this country's racist is making somebody in some place in Alabama go, you know what, Bernie Sanders is right. This is a racist country, so I'm going to vote for Bernie Sanders. We're too educated now. I think there's too many.
Yeah, I don't think so. I really don't.
So do you think it does work?
No, I don't think it works.
Okay, all right, okay.
No, I don't think it works at all. I think it's a dated thing.
Yeah.
I think that the rest of the candidates that are on that side feel like they have to do stuff like that, and he's just kind of
it's not like keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing.
Kind of thing. Yeah, I think so. And honestly, up until Bernie Sanders announced that he was going to run again, the Democratic Party didn't have a candidate.
Dude, I'm going to tell you now.
They still don't.
Real quick. I don't know. You mentioned Alabama, and it got me thinking here. The crazy part.
That was just one random state.
The crazy part is,
playing the banjo for you.
Alabama's the South. We all know the stereotype of the South. Oh, they're dumb rednecks. All right.
Well, except for certain now, you got South Carolina, you got Georgia.
I get it.
Those are no longer considered those.
The stereotype of it
that's the old that's the old stereotype.
Now the crazy part is Bernie has a huge fucking following of highly educated individuals. I mean, we're talking people with multiple masters, a doctorate. I mean, and hear me out.
It's true, but there's no intelligence connected to that. It is.
It's fucking weird shit.
Okay, yeah,
they don't have the backing of blue collar, but he's got the backing of collegiates, which is fucking
very
weird.
Interesting.
I also think that him saying something like, I think America is racist isn't going towards the people who are being racist or who think they need to change from being racist. It's going to the people who feel like racism has been used against them. And
that's my whole point. I get that, but that's my whole point. I don't think that works anymore. I don't think it works anymore. I don't think the voter now, especially black voters, now that they've been what people don't understand is, and this is, nobody talks about this, and the Democrats need to start talking about this, but the black vote is heavily leaning Trump right now, and I don't know if people know that.
15 offices he's putting into black communities.
Listen.
campaign
Let me tell you
purposes.
something. I'm not saying that Trump hasn't said some dumbass things, and he continues to say dumbass things.
He's never.
And he also panders to the black voters. Look at his commercials for
You remember
the
what he
Super Bowl.
said when he was running?
He did that too.
He said, "Take a chance. What do you have to lose?" That's not pandering. That's telling the truth. Like, you've been voting this way your entire lives.
Yep.
I've seen
Let's
you
be
go to the
honest
booth.
here, though, we literally elected in a Democrat.
Okay, and that's the thing. That's the thing. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm trying to say. Trump was a New York Democrat for years. People still think he is. What he did was he found that middle road where he's like, okay, people know I was a Democrat, but all I got to do is talk about money a whole lot, and Republicans will love me. So he goes economy, but he also talks about social issues. This is why Trump's going to win in 2020. This is the problem. And here's the problem. This is what I want to ask you about Bernie. I want to be just straight up and ask you, why are you supporting Bernie?
Because I care about two things. Healthcare.
Okay.
I think that's really important.
Okay.
Not only to me, but like other people my age.
I'm gonna
Everyone?
stop you
Everyone.
On that. I'm gonna stop
Hold
you
on,
on
let me
that
finish
one.
why.
No, this is why it's important to me.
Yeah, and then jump in and jump in.
You can have your own opinion. That's totally fine.
Say real quick,
I just
Big Bang is
gonna
real
ask you a
and
question
Flat
about
Earth
that,
isn't.
though.
Just
Oh,
so
go
we
ahead,
get
ask
out of the
me.
way before
No.
because we're not going to
Okay,
have time.
so are you,
Mountains would have already fallen off. Cats would have
so
knocked
Bernie
them out.
Sanders wants
Thank
a
you.
similar healthcare system like Canada.
No, he just
correct?
wants to expand Medicare, but
Okay, so hold on. Let him tell the two. You said two reasons that you're mainly
Yeah,
supporting Bernie Sanders.
number
So it's
one-
healthcare and what else?
healthcare because the insurance companies fuck us.
That's healthcare still, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's
and
the
Medicare would be the best way to
what's
get back
the
at
other
it.
reason?
The other reason is debt from college.
So debt from college.
debt
I get-
forgiveness
I
would
get
be
that,
cool.
but here, my question is about Medicare. You know that insurance companies set Medicare rates, right?
I do, but I
Private,
also think
United Healthcare set Medicare rates.
I understand.
I
But here's
think
the
we need to
thing.
forgive housing loans.
Thank you.
That's
no,
No, you take a loan out, and if
You
it's forgiven, fuck it. It's got to be forgiven.
It-
But the
it's
problem
true.
that we've encountered is that
You just got a house, didn't you?
you've got a bunch of people that are coming into college that are 18 years old that don't know a fucking shit thing about finances because the public school didn't tell them anything about how to fucking deal with shit in terms of personal finance.
you're not wrong.
And then they're going to
Like,
go ahead and
mitochondria
they're going to issue predatory loans over fucking school. And kids they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just
I'm
giving
so
shit to
young
sign
on college
it.
loans.
So you think your support for Bernie Sanders, you think in your support for him that he's going to level that playing field? Like he's
I
going
would
to take care
like
of
to
that?
think that he would, but I know
gonna make my credit
that he
score
can't.
better.
I know that he can't, but the fact
You're
that he
going
would
to be
be
a
in.
freaking gold mine.
Goddamn right.
Look, as I mentioned before, the most important election here, this election cycle, is not for president. It's for state and local
But
government.
you would
and
agree, though, that Bernie Sanders is a unique candidate, just like
he
Trump
is,
was.
and yes, exactly,
Right.
and that's why I think I'm voting for him and I'm supporting him, is because I am sick of what the Democratic Party's done. They can't fucking win elections. They're pandering.
so
they
you
don't
think that
know
Bernie's
what's going
to carry
on.
that flame?
I think that.
Why wouldn't you think that, like Putin?
I think that he's enough
Pete Buttigieg.
different.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I don't
Pete
like
Buttigieg.
him.
I know why though.
Because he's racist.
Because he doesn't know where the fuck he
He's
is half the
racist.
Because
time.
he's a racist.
How is he racist?
Do you not
He
listen to
does
the
have
shit
some
that he
kind of
says?
Fucking biases against
He's
race.
got some biased shit.
Against minorities in particular.
What have you heard him say that's racist?
Oh my god, I can't even go into it right now.
No, you have to say something.
All right.
Like I always hold people this. I see this all the time. People say, "Oh, this guy's racist" or "This guy's racist." Okay, like with Trump,
He
Trump's
has
racist.
actually quoted the term of them people.
Yeah. He has.
So you've heard him say "them people."
Yes, I have heard him
which
say
is racist.
As
them
mayor-
people.
Is he referring to minorities?
okay,
He
for
was
example.
referring to
Okay.
minorities.
As mayor, he has pushed under the rug investigations of police brutality in his own city.
Against minorities.
Against minorities.
Okay, all right, there you go.
So I
That's what was
can't
asking
support him.
for. Okay.
Can't support Bloomberg. Same reason. Stop and frisk. It's a
Right.
racist policy.
So let me ask you this.
Sorry,
so
can't do it.
Since we're doing that, and then I'm going to let
Yeah.
Regina jump in. Since we're doing that, so since you're talking about racism and oppression and all this, are you
think
not
it's fucked
concerned?
up.
Are you not concerned with Bernie Sanders supporting communists and being okay with certain things communists do, like Cuba's literacy program?
Yeah, that was bad timing. of
No,
him
he
to say
meant
that shit.
it though.
Yeah,
like that's the problem. Like if it was a,
But did you watch the sound clip or did you watch the whole?
I
thing?
watched the whole thing.
First off, reading Rainbow.
I can't read. I can't read
So
that.
it could go places.
Yeah. So here's my.
Oh
thing.
yeah, no shit.
Here's my thing. Is When we like a candidate, like you like you're paying attention, you're supporting Bernie Sanders. You donated to him, so you're supporting the movement, right?
I can laugh if you want.
No,
it's fine.
I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to get the
writing that off your
nomination.
taxes.
I'll just be honest with you. I don't think Bernie.
I take the standard deduction.
I don't think Bernie Sanders is going to get.
I don't think enough.
I don't think he's going to get the nomination. He's too polarizing.
I agree, and they will
Right.
fuck him out of it.
They will.
But
And-
he'd be smart if he takes the Green Party's offer. That's what fucked him in the last election.
Well,
he was offered the Green
no,
Party.
He
said no.
He needs to force that brokered convention. He needs to stand up and say no. Like last time, he basically sat back with that red, like he was so mad, you could see it in his face. He let Hillary Clinton basically say what he was going to do. And if he would have all he had to do was say no, and his supporters would have stuck with him, and you would have had a brokered convention, then you could have broke it down. He still would have lost, but at least he would have stood on it. See, that's where I lost respect because he devalued himself in the last time.
When he
problem-
recanted what he was saying,
Yes.
because I mean, I was Bernie for a long time, and then I actually listened to him, and
he was
listened to him.
fighting against the he was
And
fighting
I
against
The
feel he
establishment.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Felt the
But-
fact of I'm going to
but he
lose.
took it
fuck
all
I'm
back.
out.
He took it all back.
That's where I have a problem. At least
Yeah.
Trump. I mean, Trump's a fucking cunt, but at least Trump had the balls to keep it going.
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah.
And now he's turned it into, like he said, what happened is, and Regina, I'm still gonna let you. I don't care about time. I'm gonna let you jump in.
You're okay.
But what Bernie is doing that Trump did, they're doing something different. What Bernie's doing is saying, "F the system, screw your centrists, screw all of your centralized, like your Hillary Clintons and your Bloombergs, and screw all that. I'm the different character. I'm the different one." Now, if he could temper his message, if he would actually pull back a little and start, because nobody thinks Bernie's racist.
No.
Okay, that's a good thing.
It's because he's literally showed up at
his entire life.
his entire life, civil
Why
rights
am I like
activist,
this? Why am I like? All right,
marching and
sorry.
shit.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on, he's shaking.
Because I'm going against everything I.
Oh shit!
stand for.
He's about to fucking back my shit up.
Or no, he's not saying that.
I'm Team Brandon. You can't.
Oh, he's gonna back my shit up! What? You saw it here first, motherfucker.
I'm Team Brandon as devil advocate because
fuck.
no offense, and I mean no offense on this, you were ill prepared for this and you were just going to be
Yeah.
butt fucked in the ass.
Yeah, so
Well,
he's,
you know.
he's trying to
So
save you.
tonight, Bernie Sanders, let's go.
He's trying to save you.
I know enough on all of them, so let's go. Let's
Yeah.
do it. I got you.
He's trying to save you. So he's jumping on you because I got you in a corner. So I'm going to let Regina jump in. But here's my thing, and then I'll move on. I'm done. I wanted to know why you supported him. I was interested.
Yeah, it's those two
I
reasons.
gave you crap on Facebook about it because I don't understand how anybody supports Bernie
Now,
Sanders
real
based on his
quick,
policies.
you asked why he could support. I want to state why I support Bernie.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, I'm devil's advocate. I'm on Team Bernie right now. It's only
for
fair.
tonight.
Nah.
Go ahead, you sellout. Come on, no, go ahead.
Be happy.
You
I
put
like
yourself
you,
in that
Be happy
category.
I like you, kid.
Go
I'll
ahead.
take you to
let's
rallies.
go.
Oh, I'll suck your fucking
Come
dick.
on, let's go.
All right,
Put it
first
out there.
off, obviously the wiping away of collegiate debt is phenomenal. It would help so many young people
College
moving
is a
forward in
choice.
life.
Move on. College is a choice.
Fantastic.
Move
Healthcare, there's a lot of people who can't afford it. Some people
I
are
agree.
quote unquote insurance broke.
I agree with you on
is
that.
That is a common terminology. I do think, sure, you might have some medical premiums at $165
Mm-hmm.
a month, but hey, what's an extra $450 a month coming out of your taxes? The 42% tax rate. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not going to miss it. That's fine.
Okay.
So, I think healthcare for all would be great.
Okay.
Are we really standing on college as a choice?
on. Yep.
All right. Fuck college.
Yeah, it's a choice. I'm sorry.
Technical schools are amazing.
Yeah, that's my
I
thing.
will always be a supporter of tech schools.
Yeah, that's why he went away from it because it's true. College
no.
is purely a choice.
Look,
Hands-on learning is amazing.
I've gone to tech schools. I've gone to prestigious.
Yeah, you've done a lot of shit.
I've done it.
Well, you've done secondary education.
Yes.
You've done a doctorate program, and you've done technical schools and all of that. You've done
Correct.
a little bit of all of that.
So,
yeah.
I get it. So, fuck school. Healthcare for all would be great. I think just the common needs, housing for everybody would be great. I've lived on the street. I know how hard it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing I don't want him to
Okay,
cover.
so fuck housing.
I'm not. I just
No,
don't.
I mean that's what you want to do, though.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah, that's you.
So
but
just because he doesn't agree with it,
I
doesn't
don't.
mean
I'm
you
not good
have
at
to.
playing devil advocate.
No, you're good.
You're
good.
You're great. You're still
I
siding
want
with
you.
Bernie
You're
at this
doing
point.
exactly what you do. Put everything out there that you think. Yeah, that's.
I think that would be great. Fuck it. Why not? I don't see how it would hurt for people who are good citizens to get a little kickback from the government.
In what way?
No different than
tax returns.
You're having so much problem right now.
Dude,
This is like
So
when Michael
you're
Scott
getting-
tried to be
you
nice
want
to
a kickback
Toby.
from the government, but you also want like free health care. That is
Absolutely.
that not a kickback though?
No, because
Healthcare
everybody's
is
paying into
never
that. So
free.
that's really a kickback from you. So thank you.
He's doing that on purpose. He's
Yeah,
trying to.
he
He fell into
That's
it.
right. Please don't ever try to challenge
Yeah.
my
No,
thoughts.
listen.
They're
What you
always
have-
I'm ready. I'm ready.
No, listen.
I'm
yeah.
ready.
What you have to do is let him finish and then pick apart what he says. You
Because
can't.
you
If
gotta
you jump in, he's gonna
one
kill you
step ahead
because
of
he's.
the
It's
bread
my
line.
first time
He'll
living.
railroad
It's okay.
you.
I
Yeah,
got this.
He's a quick
this.
thinker. So if you jump in while he's talking, he'll kill you. But if you wait till he's done, you can pick him apart. So
I
go ahead.
got this.
You gotta play. You gotta play
That's
that.
right, let's
Hey,
go, girl.
you gotta play
It's
that
my
boomer
first
defense.
time at the
You gotta play the
table.
old school defense.
Boom. So this is just my baseline here.
I got
I'm
you.
going to turn the.
I appreciate that though.
I relinquish
Listen.
the floor. You
And,
guys can fuck it.
and in tune with that, let me just say this. I will say a couple of things about Bernie before you take it.
Okay.
I like his spirit. I like that he's passionate about what he's saying. You can't not look at that guy and go, man, that
He
dude's.
believes in what he's trying to do. You can feel that.
Yeah, he does. I agree.
got passion
I
behind
don't think there's anybody that doesn't feel that Bernie actually thinks what he's saying is actually something that can work.
Like, I'm a huge fan of eliminating medical debt too. I know Bernie's there. I mean, I'm in fucking shit ton of medical debt. I mean, like, fuck it. It's good for me.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with the medical debt stuff, and just to break it
I
down.
am constantly saying I ain't met my deductible yet.
Yeah, everybody in this country, and I don't know, unless you own an insurance company, unless you're part of that problem, I think anybody wants everything to go better with that. I agree.
Housing, free pre-K,
The problem
free
is,
childcare.
and this is what I'll say, and then I'm done. Trump.
Are you?
I am actually done. I'm going to let you take it. Trump actually needs to do what Abraham Lincoln did, and he needs to go.
Free the slaves.
Don't go to the theater.
No. He needs to go to Bernie Sanders. Listen, he's going to beat Bernie because Bernie's not going to get the nomination.
Go to the night.
But he needs to go to Bernie Sanders. If Trump wants to cement his legacy, right, how genius would it be for him to bring Bernie on as an advisor?
Bernie, come and work for me.
No, I'm serious.
Cross the aisle, Bernie.
Trump is the kind of
We're doing
guy
it together.
that could go to Bernie in private and say,
Felt the burn
listen,
before."
Bernie, I've watched your speeches. I've listened to you. You've got some ideas that I want to look at. I'm not saying we're going to do any of them, but let's talk about them.
You know, I
It would
want to
be
agree with you, but I
genius.
can't.
I
I want to
agree
agree
with
with you,
you
but I
on
can't.
It would be genius.
Because I think Bernie's he's got a better backbone. He's got more morals than Trump.
Oh, really?
And I
did
think
he
did
turned
he
it
have
down.
those morals in 2016 when he
I just
bowed
don't
like a
want Bernie
bitch
in my damn government.
to Hillary Clinton? Did you see him sitting there with his red face when she was
at that
talking about,
point, I think
thank
what
you,
he's trying
Bernie,
to do
thank you,
is-
Bernie, and he was like,
He was setting
oh.
himself up for this election to show
Exactly.
that equality can exist.
He can't beat
I agree.
Trump, man. He can't get the
Because he
the
also fights for
nomination.
minorities, and in this country, we just found out earlier in this show with the whole tampon situation, women are still a minority, and we're trying to make them equal again. And Bernie can do this. This is fucking killing me.
Bernie's gonna take away my tampon tax.
Yeah.
Really? Bernie's
Yeah.
gonna take away my tampon tax.
He's going to take that.
Do you hear this, Bernie Sanders? If you take away my
Okay.
tampon tax, we
All
can
right.
talk.
Weed?
No, he's just so cute.
Trump
It's a Trump Jewish.
He is funny. He's cute.
We'll talk about it.
He's cute in a weird greeting card kind of way, like a joke greeting card you send to somebody that goes, that you got the old guy on the bench
For the
talking
love of
about.
God, can I just talk about why I love Trump?
Welcome to Walmart.
You can talk about whatever you want. You have the floor. Sorry.
Also,
Go ahead.
wait.
All right, I love Trump.
Also weed.
Why?
I don't know what are we
Because he
talking
grabs
about.
pussy.
again?
Okay. So we started with why is he voting for Bernie Sanders?
Okay.
And then you heard.
I heard that
You heard
fucker's
kowtow over here.
He
You heard.
just-
You
he
heard
just-
kowtow. Look at him. You literally are having.
It's got
Yeah.
the-
Like the table
Get the
turned
meat sweats over
180
here.
here.
Look
He is having. He's
Like,
having the. I can't believe I said all that shit. So
Like,
there's that
recap
going
what
on,
happened
right?
here.
So basically, first of all, if you want to talk about Bernie, your what he said about Bernie, what he
Okay.
supports.
Okay.
and then what
I support.
what you support. Yep.
Okay.
Real quick, sorry. Rob, it's actually 72 trillion. You got your numbers wrong.
Thank you.
Oh shit, I'm not even on that shit. I should probably do that.
Okay. So back on the Bernie thing and the health.
Talking about Bernie's plan.
Yes,
Yeah, it's up
okay.
to 72 trillion now.
So Bernie
That's not even all of it.
It's okay.
Would
The
you
numbers don't
just
matter. The
shut
numbers
up?
don't
Sorry.
matter.
Sorry, he jumped.
For the
Go ahead.
love of God,
Go ahead.
would you shut up?
Go ahead.
You damn boomer.
Jump in. Jump in.
All boomers support Bernie.
They don't.
Okay, so Bernie wants to do almost like a universal health care, similar to like Canada. Those other countries that do it as well. I can't name them all off on my own.
Right.
But like what Canada's looking right now, Canada's actually looking into doing private health care like what America's doing right now because it's not
Their
working for
system's
them.
failing. Yeah, that's right.
Their system is
Well-
failing horribly. Patients are not getting the care that they need. Patients are
They can go there with no hassle. And
Yeah.
There's no wait time either.
Hassle.
There's absolutely no wait time.
There's definitely
They're
wait
waiting
times.
months to
there-
get into
there's
specialists that
not
they're
by
needing.
any means like a 2-year wait for cancer patients.
Don't fall into it. Just keep going.
Anyway,
Just keep going.
Are you waiting for me to rebuttal?
No.
Oh, okay.
that was just my
I want-
I was like, oh yeah, well yeah, they definitely are. I've read about that too, but also what they didn't say is that they're going to keep their current medical stuff and
Now
then
see-
they're going to supplement with privatized.
Are you
healthcare
okay
as
with
well.
the balance? Are you okay with?
So
with
why
an
not
option?
have both? I don't understand why if you're in a rush,
The thing
if you
is,
want to
also,
pay, sure, go
people don't
ahead.
want their
But
taxes increased.
That's true.
But it's
People-
only
No one
increasing
wants-
the wealthy.
yeah,
People
it's
bitch
only-
about
yeah.
their taxes getting increased
That's-
constantly.
No,
Not
no, no,
only
no,
the
no.
poor,
That's
the
nice
middle
thought
class
there,
bitch
Brian.
about
not
having
only
their
the
taxes
poor, but
increased.
also the rich and also the middle class. Nobody wants their taxes
But the rich
increased.
don't really see it because they
Why would
literally
Bernie
have so much
increase
money.
taxes on people who make $35,000? That's obtuse. That's not going to happen.
I'm sorry, but if I make
$29,000 is
if
the
I
line.
make more than $35,000, I don't want my taxes increased just so somebody who
No,
makes
that's poverty.
$16,000.
72,000 is the poverty line, and most of us here are under that.
Under it, well under.
Under what?
Now in the last
72,000.
now in the
Poverty line.
last 6 months, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, I made $48,000.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold
Under
on.
the Trump administration, you
Under-
made more money?
Yeah, because I have a sales job with commission.
I don't want to hear that
Which-
because.
But hold
Dick,
on.
You're not really helping.
But hold
my friend
on.
here.
Hold on.
Exactly.
Hold on. I want to talk about this because it's kind of important. Whenever you
just
have
basically elected Trump.
listen to what I'm saying and shut the fuck up.
No, you did it, dude. That's what he's saying. Like, you just literally took your entire
No,
argument.
what
about
I
Bernie
did,
and threw it
I
out.
pulled myself up from my bootstraps,
You
and I
did.
got a fucking
Wait,
job.
that's not physically impossible.
No.
It's a joke.
Shut up, AOC.
It's not. Nobody can actually
I'm glad
do
that we
that.
fucking pulled that shit back from like 3 weeks ago.
That's
That
hilarious.
fucking joke.
That poor girl.
No, but
God.
so I started working, and I've had to learn about taxes really fucking quick because half my paycheck was gone because of taxes.
Yeah.
Fucking tell
And
him
so
that.
I had to like figure it out, and it turns out that if you're making commission, you're taxed at a higher bracket
You're in a
on
different
that.
tax bracket,
Yeah,
yes.
so
Yeah.
it's 40 something, 41, 42? I can't remember. 40 something percent on just your commission alone.
Yeah, that's why commission.
So-
that's why commission jobs suck, dude.
If I
Suck.
sell
Yeah.
a product that I sell,
So-
and I get, $600 something for selling that product, my taxes on that product
you don't get shit.
is actually 600 and
Zach,
more than I got.
You don't get shit. You don't,
Fair
dude.
enough.
You don't get shit.
But basically, what I'm saying
take your
is
shit
that
and reappropriate your
I'm at
shit.
the same tax rate now as I would be if I was making. Oh God, I can't even remember. I'm paying more in taxes this year than I did last, but I was working as a bartender making like $12,000 a year, which sucked.
But let's be honest here. Who is carrying this country? It's not the
It's
lower guy.
It's the middle class.
And it's not the higher class.
That's
It's
middle.
the middle class.
What do you
Right.
mean carrying the country, supporting
With their-
it, or what?
We're the ones that's supporting the country. We're the ones that.
You're not even middle class, sweetie. You're below middle. Like, you're financially, you're not middle class.
Correct.
How do you know?
You're not.
Do you make between $49,000 and $100,000 a year by yourself?
That's not even middle class.
It technically is now.
The middle class is actually up higher than that.
So it's
Because
fine.
middle class can't be in the poverty level.
Well, middle class
Middle
ends
class
at
is a-
200,000.
I know, but middle class has to be above poverty level. You can't be in poverty level be considered middle class economically. You have to be above 72,000. So you have to have at least 72,000.
Okay.
Okay.
right,
So
let
are
her
you comfortably
talk.
making more than 72,000?
Yes.
Oh, well then, okay. Boomer.
No, just let her talk because I'm ready to rip her apart.
But anyway, the middle class's tax bracket isn't going to change under Bernie.
As a combined household, above that.
You do understand
Yeah.
that
Very
you get
well.
better tax credits if you don't combine your household. Just saying.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm just
That's
a little
do
tax
what
info
you
for
can.
you.
It truly
Not
does.
when you have a child, you do not.
Yeah,
There's an area gray on
You're
that
true.
as
It's
well.
Yeah,
better
'cause
off for
you
you to
can
file
split
independently
off
in the
who
same
can-
house
guys are cracking my
and
drink
for you to
down
do the
here.
kids by
Shut up.
yourself than to put it together. It's actually better, more
There's
beneficial.
actually an area gray if you guys
Yeah.
ping pong around the
Yep.
child.
It's
Where
crazy.
you'll
Every other
receive
year.
even more.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
crazy, man.
Every other year.
Like filing together.
I'm just trying to
is-
help you,
is-
my
No.
conservative
I have-
friend. We're socialists,
No,
so
no.
we're just
You're
trying to help.
completely fine. I have a job. I also own a
Asshole.
business as well. So there's a lot of other things that goes on.
Right.
We have a tax preparationer. We did the best route that worked for us.
Yeah, I
For
gotcha.
some people, it may work better that way, but in my
gotcha.
situation, it did
And
not
that's how it
work
has to be.
better.
Yeah, it has to
Every
be. Yeah.
situation is completely different. Trust
Right.
me. We looked at every option that was.
So hold on a minute. I'm just gonna let everybody know we're gonna go a little bit later. By the way, we're about 6 minutes over, but we did start a little bit late, and it is a very important topic. So we've done this before. Stick with us if you're watching sessions. We're gonna go for another about 15-20 minutes. So stick with us
After
while we
show.
finish. Yeah, this is the show after show.
Remix.
But Trump
The
is
walking
like
sessions.
Trump is the guy for the.
sorry,
He's
the
the guy
talking
for the
sessions.
middleman.
My bad.
Okay.
He's the guy for the middle class. He's not the guy for the upper class. He's not the guy for the lower class, which is what Bernie is. Bernie's the guy for the lower class.
Except he's giving all the tax breaks to all of his billionaire buddies, but whatever.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up, and so there's two sides to it. One is Regina, I
shot
think
break. I'll be right back.
Trump
Bring me one.
does favor the higher bracket people.
Let's do a table shot.
with some of his tax incentives.
Vegas
He
spot.
does favor them, but
I'm a numbers girl. I look at the money wise.
But what you said is about
It's true. I mean, let's look at it.
It is true, but at the same time, let's yeah. You said too much.
I'm
You-
sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm reactionary.
So-
to y'all
so-
know this.
so-
That's why I vote Democrat.
So here's the thing. That's a good point. That's a good point.
damn.
But see, Democrats didn't used to be that way.
We were forced to be this way.
You were by who?
Oh shit!
Yourself.
How much time
When
you got?
Lincoln freedom.
You got some crazy candidates running for you, man. It's crazy.
I knew that was. You got to unpack that.
I'm still on his team. I just,
No, you just jumped off his team.
You really
like
did.
you can't even get back
That's
on now.
terrible.
Like, if
Welcome back.
he came to a stop. If he came
That
to a
was some
stop
racist
on
shit.
the
You
track,
can't say welcome back. That's.
no, you're back on our side being racist like that. That's the way it goes.
Trump's called racist all the fucking
Yeah,
time.
you're-
I'm just saying, welcome
we
back.
all know who I really am. This is just.
This is a facade.
No, I actually appreciate that you did that. That actually made it a little more interesting for him because I didn't want to because I appreciate somebody like you said. He's standing on what he thinks,
So
and that's
here's
important.
the crazy part. Sanders.
Those are my moral grounding.
So here's why I said that you spoke too soon. Sanders is actually enforcing his tax policy, showing it on people who make $49,000, which actually would mean that they'd make closer to the $29,000 mark after the taxes.
yeah, but you end up saving on your
You don't
premiums.
save. There's no saves, man.
Your premium ultimately would be about $450 a month going towards this medical insurance. When you have people out there who's paying about $150 to like $180 a month, so it's actually doubling it for some people.
You understand? You do understand that Obamacare almost bankrupted.
Yeah,
basically.
Well, I never had Obamacare because I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, I
so-
definitely
yeah.
could not afford
So
Obamacare.
I haven't had health care in over
The Affordable Health
8
Care
years.
Act is the biggest lie in fucking history.
So do you
Where's the
understand?
unaffordable
do you,
health
do
care
you,
act?
you do understand
Yes.
that Medicare for all, right, is not economically possible for this country. It's actually not possible.
We'll see.
It's not. We'll see.
It's
you can't.
not.
You
No.
can't. We'll see it because I'll tell you what. He even said, "Oh, here's the plan." Okay, we're up to what 72 trillion
We're
now,
at $72 trillion.
and that's for 3 of the programs. Okay, let's leave that aside for a second. Let's leave the fact out that there is all these additional costs, right? And they're going to say, well, it'll be more expensive if we, in the long run, if we don't go to it, right? It's all about trying to fix it now. Okay, I think what we need to do is we need to look at the fact that
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Bernie
Thank you.
doesn't really know how to explain that he's going to do these things because there's not enough tax base. There's not enough rich people or rich companies in this world. I'm not the United States.
So for this to realistically work, our system would have to redo the entire tax code, removing the areas of gray, change tax deductions on top of increasing taxes.
Yeah.
It would plummet the economy itself. The market itself would plummet, and we'd see another depression. But in the long run, we'd be fine, Chief.
So,
In the long run, at least everybody got vaccinated.
what Bernie's talking about
No,
is
we don't believe that.
Bernie's talking about a revolution, a complete overhaul of everything, basically. The way our system and the way our country operates, Bernie wants to completely change all of that.
Right,
It's a theory
and the
that would
reason
work
that
for a
I want to
young
vote
nation.
for him isn't because necessarily I believe all those changes are going to happen overnight. That's not it.
You think those changes are necessary?
I think that eventually, maybe, sure. Would
Not
you
that
hit your
bad, is
finger?
it?
Hit it.
Not that bad,
Oh,
is it?
dude.
I hit it.
Yeah, hit him some more.
Obviously, I know that these things aren't going to change overnight, and I know that
I have a high paid
Congress, the way it is right now,
hurt way
none
less
of
than
this
that,
shit
I
is going to
promise.
pass. But it's nice to know that at
So-
least he's the kind of person that wants to stand up for.
So you're voting
that
for somebody
person.
because it's nice to know that they feel things.
I'm standing up for it because that's where my moral ground is.
Right.
And
So
I
you
feel like
think
that's.
morally,
I
this
think
is a
I
better
think that
route.
he lines up with what I'm
Morally?
looking for.
So you
That's
think
all.
Bernie's moral?
I think ethically and morally, this is a
So you
better route.
think taxation
so.
is moral?
Well, of course, we have representation.
Yeah.
So Bernie's method of I'm going to take from you no matter if you like it or not, whether you want to or not.
I fully,
Keep it up.
I
keep
do.
it up.
Here's the thing.
I did that right in the mic.
What is good for the goose is great for the gander.
In what way? Stop throwing out freaking just blanket shit and get specific.
Well,
what do you mean? What's
what is good for
this?
one is good for all.
That's not true.
No.
No, most definitely. So think of it this way.
Hey, that's not going to work.
I
Like,
can't
listen,
fuck
listen.
off.
I'm sorry if
So-
I go and I work my
No.
She's
He's
getting
listen. Do you
mad.
understand what he's doing, right?
Oh, I know what he's
trying
doing.
so hard to
I'm
say what
well
they
aware.
say, but it is so hard for him because he knows what he's
Bezos alone
saying
makes
is
an
asinine.
astronomical amount of money per minute. Does he need that much? Absolutely not. Why? Explain to me why the fuck capitalism is a good thing, and then they could just write it all off and get millions of dollars back in their tax
You are
refunds.
so. I bet you have sweat down the crack of your butt
it's
right
fucking
now.
rough. But they don't have to pay shit. You know? Well, you got Joe Schmo. Yeah, Joe Schmo fits for you.
Yeah.
And like poor guy
Oh, okay,
who wears
thanks. I
the
just
same
saw that.
flannel for years. Can't afford to put food on the table. Can't
I
afford
feel like
the
you're
insurance.
misrepresenting this.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time here. I understand.
Well, see,
the
that's what
bullet
happens.
points.
See, what's happening is he's trying to be in your
No,
realm.
he's trying to satire my realm.
No,
Not
he's really
intentionally.
not. He's not really trying to satire. He's actually
Here's
trying to
the
say
worst
what
part.
it is.
I am literally stating what they are stating in plain man's terminology,
Look
and
at
it's
it.
so fucking hard.
His cancer's growing. He's like,
It is.
Fuck!
He's like, you unbelievable shit. So here's the problem. Here's the problem, to keep it simple, is the reason that when you said you were supporting Bernie, the reason I was like, oh, I'm going to call you out, I'm going to expose your underbelly. My whole thing about that is, man, and I mean this in the nicest way, but first of all, it looks phenomenal, like, and everything like that does. Like when Cuba, right? When Cuba and Venezuela laid out their
Got
plans
their
for
literacy
socialism,
program.
no, that's the thing is they'll do some really good things. Like they'll have great, like for example, Bernie talked about how the train depots looked in Russia, how they had chandeliers and they were all pretty and everything.
I'm gonna start bringing
while
my
he's
coloring
talking
books.
about Russia. And here's my thing is the problem with Bernie's main problem is he does what he doesn't understand is most Americans don't understand what he's talking about. The ones that do have been educated in the new system, and there's not enough of them to elect him. That's the problem. The
so
numbers.
basically, what you're saying are smart people are voting for Bernie, but the dumb people are too stupid to realize that he's right.
No.
So I think
that's
what he's
you.
really
That's you.
saying-
That's just what you said.
That's not what I said.
I think
I
what
didn't
he's
say
really
anything about
saying
stupid or
is
smart.
this: what Bernie's looking at right now would be a great ideation for a developing country. We're
or
already
like-
developed into a situation where it's hard to reinvent the wheel.
Or if you're doing Midsummer Part 2.
Fuck that movie.
If you're doing Midsummer Part 2,
Ultimately.
Bernie Sanders would be the head of that. He would be the chief of that tribe.
Jesus.
It's not going to work with our economy. Our economy is too big.
We would see
too
a
big.
depression worse than
Yeah,
our
you
last
would.
one.
And Bernie actually said this, man, and this is why I have issues. He actually said, being in food and soup lines is a good thing. He actually said that. I can pull it up on YouTube. That's a good thing
praised
because
the fact of being in soup right.
Yeah. And the reason he praised it because it supports his message.
It's because he actually remembers it from the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Him and Eric used to combine theirs, and it felt like they had more.
I am not a boomer. To all of
Cody,
you.
why don't you?
Get off of my lawn.
You're a Bernie supporter.
Over here on my coloring books.
I'm
I'm just going to sit over my coloring books. You guys have got this. No, why don't you step in
What's
here?
one thing?
I'm supporting for Bernie.
I know, but what's one?
so cute.
Why are you voting for him?
I think
one thing.
at this point, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think we've tried a lot of stuff, and I just like to see if it.
Oh, so
give him a
let's
chance,
try it.
dude. Let's try it.
So that's what
What's
Dr.
the worst
Moreau
gonna happen?
said. That's what Dr. Moreau said on the island. Let's combine humans and people.
look how that turned
humans
out.
and animals. It turned out great. Look at what happened to Val Kilmer after he made that movie. Val Kilmer's in terrible shape.
Looks fucking
Hey,
rough.
but he'll always have
terrible.
Hello, it's fine.
So here's my thing.
you see him in Jane
I know
Silent
you.
Bob, the
I know
reboot?
you're being
He looks
serious
awesome.
and not serious.
I'm not. That's not my
Like you
entire
want to
reason for
try
voting for
something
him.
else.
I like a lot of
But
his
it's-
ideals.
everything
I
is
think that
working right now.
To me, it's that I really value helping other people, and I think that's what he in his
why can't
actual
you do
fucking
that?
heart
Why can't
wants
you
to
do that?
We can, but I think okay.
So you want, but you
Well,
want
hey,
the government?
wrong
No.
political
Yeah.
Wrong
But
political-
no, you want the government to tell people they have to
I
help.
don't, and you know how I feel.
But that's
about
what
that.
Bernie said. That's what Bernie
more
wants.
liberal than anything, but.
Bernie wants more government. That's my problem with it. It's like you're
don't-
forgetting that. You
I
think
don't
it's a
necessarily
moral
want more
thing,
government.
but Bernie wants to build government up so powerfully.
I don't necessarily want more government.
to
I want
guide
people
everybody.
that don't have anything and can't do something for themselves to have a chance at life that everybody else has.
And that has
That's all
nothing
I
to do
want.
with Bernie Sanders.
He's going to give you a
No,
better
you
chance
can be
than
way
that.
more charitable with capitalism than you can ever be with Bernie
You
Sanders.
can, but nobody is.
Hold on, no,
Yes,
you're
they
a
are.
capitalist.
You said
Yeah.
that.
You're a capitalist. Fantastic.
We are the most. We are the most.
Please write
we are
off our
the
school debt.
most charitable country. That's not charity. That's I don't know what
It
that
is,
is.
though. It's
No,
charitable.
charity is when someone is in the streets or needs to eat.
You
You're talking about
chose to have
college,
school
I
debt.
man.
can't afford my debt.
You're talking about college.
It
You
makes me
chose
broke. I'm
to
saying
have
I'm
that
stating debt.
But you chose
What
to
about
have
it?
that debt.
I have medical and student. You're assuming I'm
shouldn't I have
talking
Virginia
about
pay off my credit card because I
You're-
can't afford to pay it off?
absolutely.
Oh,
But here's the
okay.
thing.
Is that how that works?
Here's the thing. You're assuming, you are putting words in my mouth, assuming that I am specifically talking about college. We already discussed what
What
was
are
it,
you-
about
what
20
are you
minutes
talking
ago.
about?
Fuck college.
What are you
I'm
talking about?
stating debt. Bernie Sanders is in the support of wiping away medical debt as well.
You can't wipe a medical debt.
You should
not?
be able to. Why not?
You can't wipe it away. How are you going to wipe it away?
Same way we get free health care.
You okay?
Eventually, that's going to come out of
What is
somebody's
it? No,
pocket.
It
No.
doesn't matter how we figure it out. It will get figured out.
Exactly. So here's the problem. You talking about? Yeah, sure you can. So how do you wipe it away? Tell me.
So what? Somebody's just
Tell me,
gonna
how do you
pull
wipe
up
it away?
on
Have you seen the
computer
movie
and just
Fight
hit
Club?
delete?
Yeah.
We don't talk about our debt.
No.
No.
If you've seen the movie Fight Club and you've read the book Fight Club, do
Yeah.
you remember what Project Mayhem is?
Yes, it was anarchy.
Anarchy, but based on or predicated on
So
what?
you're, so
no,
you're saying
predicated on what?
that Bernie is an anarchist.
No.
Okay. Predicated on what?
Predicating on what act in the film and also in the well, they didn't really explain it in the film.
It was corporations and rich people, basically,
Okay.
that had more and other people
In the
didn't have
book,
as
it
much.
goes into more detail about wiping out debt. So
Yeah.
the plan is through Project Mayhem is that they're going to blow up all the credit card company buildings and wipe everybody's debt, so everybody's on the same level playing field. That's the point of the book.
What does
Literally
that have to-
promoting the fact of killing a bunch of people
about to
together.
say,
Yeah.
are we
No,
going
you really
It all
don't.
happened at night. No one was there.
Are we blowing up
Except the
insurance
cleaning
companies?
guy.
What are we doing?
So yeah. What do you? So here's
Way
my
to be a
thing.
Death
He's saying, "How would you wipe away the debt?" I said, "Blow up the building."
But here's my thing.
It's a fucking joke.
Right, it is funny, but no, I want you to be serious for a minute. Like
My
when
thing-
you say wipe away debt,
Yeah,
and
we-
Bernie's talking about
just
wiping
erase
away
it.
debt,
Are we just
how
going
is
to
he
pull up
going to
accounts
do
on
it?
the
Amnesty.
internet and just start hitting
Amnesty.
delete?
Yeah,
Is
wipe
that
it.
what we're
Why not?
doing?
Start over.
So-
Fresh.
Sounds good to me.
So you just basically all of that money that was incurred, all the stuff that. So the schools that have this debt, right? Let's just tell you this.
So who's going to pay for all the medical supplies that was
Hold on.
used?
The schools that have this debt, right? That is, whether it's a Stafford loan, Pell Grant, whatever it is, I don't know. Doesn't matter what the debt is. Bernie wants to wipe it away. So these schools that have this debt, the professors and the services they provided, right? That got paid already. And they're going to depend on this debt that's owed, right? Some of this debt. I agree that's too much. College is too expensive. But that has nothing to do with debt. When you run up debt, it's by choice. When you take this other class to become a liberal arts major, or whatever it is that you're going to do, you make a decision. Yeah, you make a choice to do that. So here's my thing. When you wipe away the debt, what you're in effect saying is, all of the money that was owed to these people that you're basically taking this, because that's what debt is. Debt is taking from something and giving to something else, right? So when I run up credit card debt, the stores are saying, okay, I have an agreement with you that you're going to pay this eventually, and I'm willing to, what I'm going to do is, I get my money, and the credit card company says, we're a bank, so we're going to make you pay this interest, da-da-da-da-da, right?
Yep.
That would be like me going to the credit card company and having somebody saying, your debt's wiped away.
But see, that's assuming that the debt is valid.
Here's the thing.
Because here's the thing.
What, so
it's fucked us
No,
on
hold
this
on,
fight.
hold on. Here's the thing.
Is the
There's-
school
yes,
debt
we're
not
talking
valid?
about medical. Let's go back to
School
the medical
debt's valid, right?
It's a predatory loan.
What debt
We
is
already
not
talked-
valid? What
Let's
debt's
talk
not
about the
valid?
medical debt.
Is that not valid debt?
No, it's not.
It's not valid?
No,
It's
not.
actually,
It's valid debt. It doesn't mean it's okay, but it's
but
valid.
medical debt is actually, when you go to apply for a loan, like say you go to apply for a house loan, medical debt is actually not something that's counted against you.
And there's a reason
Why
for
is
that.
medical
You
debt
want to know why the
counted
reason
against
for that
medical
is?
debt?
It is counted against
It's
you.
most definitely.
Actually, no, it
It
is
isn't.
not.
Yes,
I
it is
just,
the biggest reason people go bankrupt is medical debt.
yes, but it is not counted against you. When you go to buy a home, it is not. I just
Oh,
bought
or
a
when
house.
you apply
in
for a credit
November.
card or
nothing
anything.
else, but you can have that home.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I get what you're saying,
Yes.
but what Cody just said is a point. So you can go buy, this is the predatory loaning that he's talking about, is banks did this back in the 80s and 90s.
And look what happened.
And went to minority neighborhoods and basically broke people.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying is,
And it's going to happen with medical too.
what we're trying to do is we're gonna close this out. But what we're gonna try to get to is we're gonna get to a point where we need to find a middle ground on all this, where there is a way where we could talk about how expensive stuff is. That's important.
Yeah, because the medical system and insurance companies are saying that a Band-Aid costs $36. It fucking doesn't.
Right. Okay. So the way,
That's why I say, is that debt valid?
Yeah, but
no,
they
it
put
isn't.
Supreme on it, so it does.
They put a premium on this shit, and it's not fair.
Yes, but they also work with so the hospital itself says that Band-Aid costs $36, but they also worked out a deal with say Blue Cross Blue Shield. They can only charge Blue Cross Blue Shield $7 for that
Yeah, and-
Band-Aid.
But why are they charging them $7 for a
That's the
Band-Aid?
They
reason.
charge us more than that.
That's the reason St. Francis and United Healthcare are now
Shut up!
are now pissed off at each other.
Yes,
what I'm saying
that
is-
is why.
And that's one of the
but it is.
and that is, and truthfully, that is one of the most ridiculous fights that's going on, because
Oh, I
each
don't
side
wanna hear about it. I
each
hear it
side
every
is
day,
blaming
all
the
day.
other side.
It is.
But do you see
hear
why
it
I
all
say
day.
that debt? Why should that be valid?
It's valid. Okay, you got your words wrong. It's valid debt because it was debt that was.
But it should have never been charged to you to begin with. You
well,
should have been charged
not
a normal
that
price.
much debt.
Exactly.
It's still valid.
So people going bankrupt over this debt is
Oh,
because
I'm
of
one of
this
them.
shit.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. So why the fuck shouldn't there
But
be
you can't
reform?
wipe debt free. What you have to do is you have to legislate and work with the
has to be
insurance companies.
programs
Yeah,
set up.
there has to be something done in between. What Bernie is saying is all or nothing.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Bernie's plan.
Because it just
won't
seems
work.
like no one else is paying any fucking attention. We try to do this shit.
Trump
and no
is,
one,
though.
And then the pharmaceutical companies have more
Do
money
you
to fucking
realize?
fight
No.
it.
Do you realize that Trump enacted the biggest pharmaceutical control cost of any president in the history of this country?
Show me.
It's already done.
Show
all
me
you got to
these
do is look
things.
it up.
Do you
It
also,
can be done.
Do you also want to know? Hang on, one second.
He just did all the math from like an
do you
hour
Do you
ago.
also want to know why medical debt gets so
Yeah.
big? People use the ER
Oh no!
as a
You're all
primary care
wiped up now.
provider. You go to the ER.
Yeah,
it's
Kelsey,
going
bring your
to
ass
cost
inside.
I'm exaggerating,
good. You go, bro.
but it's
No,
going
you're
to cost
right.
100 times
Where's she
more
at?
than going to your PCP.
No, you're right. It does.
And people use the ER
But it can be done.
just like
It can be done.
Yes.
It can be
can
done.
it?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna run for president.
I do.
He's
plan
a
on it.
boomer. He could get it.
For the
gonna run
love
for
of God,
president.
I'm going to Canada.
I'm gonna
All
run
right.
for president.
It's all right. You'll love our health care.
Yeah, you'll love our freaking healthcare.
I'm bringing my Blue Cross Blue Shield with me.
It's all right.
They don't take it
they
up
don't
there.
take it. So
They have their own.
Look at it.
you
They're
can come
what
right
does it
back
say?
to
As
although-
an American citizen, you can't use your
Blue Cross
Blue Shield up
Blue
there.
Cross Blue Shield just negotiated a deal with the Canadian government, so that's pretty cool.
All right. So, real quick, Bernie states he wants to instantly legalize marijuana, which is great because marijuana is being taxed at an astronomical rate all the way down to the fucking sea.
And I think we can all
That
agree
being
that's
said,
fine. Whatever.
Hold on, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
All right.
That being said, it's taxed all the way down the sea. That's why you have millions and millions of dollars in tax revenues. The way that we wipe away the collegiate debt is they are Fed loans, which means the government holds them. The people itself consumes the debt, which increases the national debt, but the taxation of marijuana, as well as the increased tax rates of the people, will eventually pay that off in time. Henceforth, Wyatt stated, in the long run, I'm really digging, in the long run, it works out. The taxation dollars alone will start knocking down that debt, especially considering if you have a healthier nation with provided health care, provided housing, provided child care.
So who's gonna make the decision to do that? The government?
Well, of
You're going to trust the government to do that?
I trust the government.
Sure, here you go, government. Take all this tax money and pay this shit
that
off.
like boiling water.
Yeah, that's my problem.
As they go to Vegas,
That's my
they're throwing
problem. Is
down
Bernie?
strippers'
Bernie
cans.
wants to go. Bernie wants to go. Government.
Are we done? Are we
Yeah,
done?
we're done.
Can I please have a final statement?
Yes, go ahead.
Under no circumstance do I back anything I just said in the last fucking 45, 30 minutes. Donald Trump 2020, fuck your taxes, you dumb cunt. And God damn it, I am a conservative with libertarian values. Touch my money, I'll fuck you up.
Look at him. All right, man.
What money?
We're going to close it out.
On March 11th, we have Glow Karaoke. I hope to see everybody there.
We do have some cool stuff coming up. Check us out on Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram, and we're going to get everybody out of here. But for all of my guests, Brandon, Regina, Cody, Zach, and I'm your host, Eric. You've been watching Sessions stream live from Shaker's Bar, downtown Cape. We come to you every Thursday night at 8 o'clock. It's been a great show. Thank you for sticking with us for an extra half hour. And Zach just scared everybody. We'll see you next week on Thursday, 8 o'clock, guys.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.